But Yahuwah spoke and drew a Kodesh line. He said the seventh, set it apart for me. Now the candles flicker and my spirit's free. Shabbat Shalom, peace has come to stay. Yahuwah's resting, and I'm resting today. No more striving, just breathing in His grace, chilling in His presence in this sacred space. Shadows fade away. His word reminds me there's no need to stray. Come to me weary, I will give you rest. In Yahuwah's presence, I'm completely at rest. Shabbat Shalom, peace has come to stay. Sacred space. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, Shabbat Shalom. No rushing, no striving, just breathing in His grace. Family gathered, smiling face to face. He calls the Sabbath a delight. In perfect shalom, my soul finds sweet release. Shabbat Shalom, peace has come to stay. Yahuwah's resting, and I'm resting today. No more striving, just breathing in His grace, chilling in His presence. Sacred space. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. From sunset to sunset, His peace covers me like a river flowing, calm and deep and free. Yahuwah is my refuge, my sacred space. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, beautiful family. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden. I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah channel and Man O Live. Here we are with all of you guys. And it is a blessing. It is a baraka that we are able to sit here across this world, across these plains, and sit and rejoice. And for those who have not heard of this channel or those who've not been part of it, we're a little family out in the middle of a tropical rainforest. We are literally right in the middle of a tropical rainforest out here, and there's really nothing around us. And so as we are gearing up for Shabbat, it is a beautiful endeavor. It is a wonderful, it is just a great building point for all of us. And you know, we don't like to ask people to give a thumbs up, but unfortunately, because how YouTube works on this, that this will never go anywhere unless there are some people that give us a thumbs up, give us a like. And if you're not subscribed, guys, please subscribe. We're always throwing out new content. We're always trying to give you guys the tools that we need. And for those who need just a quick introduction of who we are as a family, we're a family that believes that all of scriptures is fully part of our scriptures. From the front of the book all the way to the very end of the book is something that is value, straight up value. And it's the value that you get when you read the scriptures that there's no price. You can't put a price on this. When you are walking this pagan world, when we are happy Gentiles, when we're out there and we are not in covenant with our Creator, it's a different kind of a life. And when you find the first 5 books of scriptures, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, and you start to educate yourself and you start going through these scriptures and you start reading them for the value that they are, it becomes very clear very soon that these statutes, these commandments, these laws are built for everybody. They are built for all of us. Those of us who want to seek our Creator, those of us who want the kingdom to come, those of us who are tired of this demonic world that we are in right now. And as you can see, worldwide, we are in the middle of a worldwide collapse. And it's not just North America that's getting owned. It is the entire world that is getting owned. And these are the times when there is massive pressure, when there is contraction pains of the world, that the Torah makes a lot more sense than ever before. And when we read the Torah, when we read these scriptures, it becomes very evident that the rest of the world isn't aligned with the Torah. And when you look at these Christian religious systems, you know, we have hundreds of thousands of different religious systems. And the one thing that every religious system will give you is they will give you the path to salvation. Now, when you read this path to salvation, it may become a little murky because in these paths to salvation, let's take one religion, for example. Let's say that we can ask a person, his name is, they call him Jesus, but we don't call him that because there were no J's in Hebrew. The letter was invented in the 1500s. But they take this guy and they give him a name. And funny enough, the name is actually the son of Zeus. It's actually like Jesus. It's like you're like literally calling the son of the Most High a name of a fake deity. And so they have this person. And in this belief system, we are told that we can, anytime that we sin, we can offer up a prayer to this J guy, Mr. J, right? And so we can say, you know what, I did some bad stuff today. I wrecked my life. I wrecked my family's life. I did all this. But you know what? I can talk to Mr. J, and I can ask my sins to be forgiven. Now, that is an interesting concept because that concept doesn't appear anywhere in the 3,153 pages of scriptures that we have, including the 66 and also the 37 that are in the Apocrypha. We've never heard this. We don't know that Mr. J forgives sins by a prayer to him. So when we take that point alone and we're like, wow, that's what I used to believe. Well, where is this belief founded? Where do we come up with this? Because it certainly doesn't appear in scriptures. What about going into a little room with a guy on the other side of the divider, right? And what about telling him all your sins and terrible stuff? And this guy says, your sins are forgiven, son. Go and sin no more. And you're like, okay, thank you, priest. I got it. But we don't have anywhere in scriptures that tells us anything like this. We don't have this. So how are we supposed to align our lives based on scriptures when we see these man-made dogmas, these traditions of men? And this is the point in all of our lives that we get to, and we can clearly see that the world has gone fully demonic. We can see that we are in for some very dark times, and the ride is going to get very iffy very, very soon. So these are all the reasons that all of us would want to investigate into the Torah. We would not only want to investigate, but then we would want to apply what our investigation found. And when you read scriptures very, very slowly, and you don't even have to go slowly, and you just got to read them, and you have to apply them, you will very clearly learn that all of the people who are part of the Creator's kingdom, all of them, have one thing in common. They're all loyal to the Creator. And you can go, well, I love God. I love him. I love him with all my heart, mind, and soul. But you hate what his words say, right? Do you see the contradiction? Do you see how this can be something that you can say, I love my mom with all my heart, mind, and soul, but she walks away from you and go, man, that she's a witch. I can't stand a thing she ever says, right? So you're contrary to what you are saying. So this is where the Torah begins. It begins with understanding that there is a set of rules, there's a set of guidelines, there's a set of all this for all of us. And we're going to go over these very exciting laws, statutes, and commandments very, very soon here, and just after a couple songs. And these laws, statutes, and commandments are things that as we apply them into our lives today, our lives get better today. And it's not a choice, it's a lifestyle. And Torah keeping is a lifestyle. It's not something we just do on Shabbat. It's something that we do day after day because we know that we're supposed to write the words of our Creator on our heart, mind, and soul so that we are unable to sin against him. And we wouldn't sin against him not because we can't sin, but that we would know what sin is because we know the Torah and we're not going to want to upset the Creator of the universe. So with that, guys, we would like to welcome all of you guys here. We love you tremendously. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And we are going to get into our next song.
See, the days are coming soon, says all the faithful one. A covenant made, renewed in love for Yisrael and Yahudah. Not like the one from long ago when he led them by the hand. They turned away, they did not stay, but now his mercy stands. Write your Torah on our hearts, so place your wisdom in our minds. We are Elohim forevermore. We are your people for all time. Forgiven, free, remember no more. Our sins are washed away. Renewed covenant, eternal love. We lift our song of praise. Our song of praise. No longer teaching, no, for all shall know his name. From least to great in every tribe, his truth will never change. He will forgive unrighteous ways, our guilt he won't recall. Mercy flows and covers us, his promise is for all. Write your Torah on our hearts, so place your wisdom in our minds. We are Elohim forevermore. We are your people for all time. Forgiven, free, remember no more. Our sins are washed away. Renewed covenant. your wisdom in our minds. Be our Elohim forevermore. We are your people for all time. Forgiven, free, remember no more. Our sins are washed away. Hide your Torah on our hearts. Holy gates, your wisdom in our minds. Be our Elohim forevermore. We are your people for all time. Forgiven, free, remember no more. Our sins are washed away. Renewed covenant, eternal love. We lift our song of praise. We lift our song of praise. Moshe spoke with righteous flame. Israel, guard Yahuwah's name. If a dreamer comes or signs appear, test the word, don't walk in fear. If a man or Nevi rise, showing wonders before your eyes, and says, let's follow other Elohim. Don't be fooled, don't follow him, for Yahuwah test your heart to know, will you love him or let go? Walk in Torah, truth, and all. Cling to Yahuwah, that's the law. Baruch Yahuwah El, so true. Ruach burns, his fire in you. Adon reigns from Shemayim high. Torah lives, it will not die. That Nevi or dreamer's done, for falsehood fights against the sun. He spoke rebellion, led astray, turned your heart from Yased away. Purge the evil, let it cease, that Israel may live in peace. Hold to the covenant, strong and sure. Kodesh life will keep you pure. Baruch Yahuwah El, so true. Ruach burns, his fire in you. Aton reigns from Shemayim high. Torah lives, it will not die. If your brother whispers low, let's serve Elohim we used to know. Don't consent, don't hide the lie. Love Yahuwah till you die. Whether wife or friend so dear, don't let their voice bend your ear. Yahuwah alone is King of all. Answer his Kodesh call. If a city turns to sin and shame, serving Elohim, denying his name, search it out, test the word, see if the wickedness occurred. If it's true, burn it down, cleanse the land, remove the crown. Let it stand as warning clear, that Yahuwah's name you fear. Baruch Yahuwah El, so true. Ruach burns, his fire in you. Dadon reigns from Shemayim high. Torah lives, it will not die. Let none take spoil, nor gold, nor gain, for Yahuwah's honor must remain. He'll turn his wrath, show mercy again, and Baruch your fields with early rain. Because you listened, walked upright, loved the truth and chose the light. Hold fast Israel to his way, for Kodesh fire will not decay. Baruch Yahuwah burns His fire in you. God's own reigns from Shemayim high. Torah lives, it will not die. Baruch Yisrael, chosen line. Stay faithful, strong till end of time. Through false words, through wicked schemes, Torah cuts through broken dreams. Stand in truth, don't compromise. Yahuwah tests the heart, not eyes.
All right, beautiful family. Cade, will you please open us up in prayer?
Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the time you've given us, the time you have let us do these Shabbats with this family all across the world. We thank you for your word. We thank you for your will. We thank you for a law so beautiful you set apart for us that you gave it to us to better our lives and enhance our lives. We thank you for everything you've done for us. We thank you for this family. We ask that your blessings and your Ruach are upon us today. As we dive into your word, we dive into your commands. We thank you for all in His name. Amen.
All right, Jade, will you please open us up with the Shema on this? And for those who don't know what the Shema is, guys, this is an incredible verse, incredible set of verses here. And it means hear and obey, right? It's not just a hear, it's not just a listen up. It's that we listen up and apply the words. Now, in this reading, the words which we're being commanded today in our hearts are the Torah, right? We're talking about the first 5 books of scriptures. So, when this book was written, obviously, the New Testament was still a vapor of futuristic tense, has not been written. So, this is the same doctrine that all of us have today, it had yesterday, today, and they'll have tomorrow. So, Jade, please open us up with the Shema.
Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these are the words which I command you today, and they shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and on your gates.
So when you have something that is important to you, right? Let's say, I don't know, something that is very, very, very important to you, right? We take what is important to us and we make sure it's put away, number one, right? If we say we have something that means something to us and we don't leave it on the table to where everybody can, accidentally knock it off or do something of it, we protect it, we guard it. And this is what we as the people of a kingdom have been told to do. We've been given the Torah as a gift. And for those who don't understand that the Torah is not just a set of laws to put us into some sort of a bondage, but it is a gift. Because without the Torah, we would not know vital pieces of life. We wouldn't know what the difference between clean food and unclean food was. We wouldn't know the difference between Torah keeping and what we consider lawlessness. Now, you can either pick lawful or lawless as your world, but you don't get both, right? You can't be lawful and lawless at the same time because it doesn't go together. The point of Torah keeping isn't to make us perfect, but it is to put us into alignment so that we understand what the rules and regulations of not just this world are, but the world to come. You see the Sabbaths that we are keeping, the Passovers, all of these appointed times that we keep of our Creator are simply a rehearsal for what we're going to be doing in the future or what we're not going to be doing in the future, right? Everybody who makes it to the pits of Sheol, they're not going to be keeping these appointed times. They didn't keep them here. They didn't want to keep them there. And so we need to make sure that we are keeping these beautiful laws, these beautiful statutes and commandments. They are a gift. And so when you are looking down at the Torah as some sort of, oh man, we have to keep these, that is absolutely the wrong attitude. Because the attitude is oh, amazing, goody, yay, woohoo, right? It's every bit of celebration because that is what the Torah is. It is a celebration of life. And so with that, Mystical, will you please greet our brothers and sisters for us everybody that's out there.
All right, we have a full house. It says there's 35.
All right.
All right, so we have Edward, Joanna, 𝐉𝐄𝐄 777.
How many sevens you put in that?
I put 3. I started with 2, but then I had to add that third.
What's up, brother?
Jeremy and Callan.
What's up, guys?
Sarah and William. Yahuwah Chan. Sister Barb and family. Danny Boy. Kayla, which is Danny's daughter. Welcome to you.
What's her name?
Kayla.
Kayla.
I
Hi,
think
Kayla.
that's right.
Hi, Kayla. We hope that's right. Welcome, everyone.
Trevor, Christina, Sue, Charles, scrolling, Brandy and family, Sylvia, Genie Not of This World, Bat Yahuwah. I always struggle with that.
Daughter of Yah. Daughter of Yah. What's up?
Honeymoon Stitch, Brian.
What's up?
Let's see who else we have here. Rick Johnson,
Rick's in the house.
Grace,
Hi, Grace.
the Grand,
Graham.
Obi Lions, Chris. Rafa and his wife. I got the Grand right.
Yep.
Cindy. I'm still scrolling here. The list is long. Everybody's been
That's
chatting
amazing.
it up.
Yeah, awesome. Good job, guys. Good job chatting it up. Good job being a part of Yah's Kingdom stuff.
Jeanette.
Hi, Jeanette.
And I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, I do apologize.
Yeah, so if we missed you, that's our bad. We're so sorry. Welcome. Congratulations, welcome. We love you all. This is, last week we talked about this, and we're, the stress level of a Shabbat for us is the setup, right? It's always the setup, and it's not so much the setup, but it's as the technology fails us. And if we all of a sudden the stream does get cut off, I think what we should do is probably just get everyone educated that we'll go find the next stream, right? If we don't make it to the very end of this, we will keep going until we get through this, and that in of itself is very frustrating because we want to make sure that things are as fluent and working for everybody, that we can keep everybody listening as much as possible on this. And so we got nothing but love for you guys. So thank you guys very, very much. Thank you to everybody who encouraged me via email, and Sister Barbara saying, well, maybe we can get together on like a Friday or something like this. Guys, my family's schedule and we're tornadoes. We are hurricanes. We are all over the place all week long. The only time that we have that we get together as a family, unfortunately, is on a Shabbat. By the time everybody makes it home at night, the dogs are tired. We're tired. We got to get to bed. It's having 9 pit bulls and all of the family here. It's a lot to go with, but we're working through it. And I was very encouraged by the emails you guys sent, and the love. I just want to return that love. There's no better people in this world than Yah's people, and it's just there's so much heart and so much love, and we're gonna keep rolling. We're gonna keep rolling through this, and don't worry about our stress level on this. As long as the technology doesn't fail us, then we'll be doing good. And if it does, we're just going to keep doing the streams. If we have to do like 5 streams in one day just to get through this, I guess that's what we are going to do. So with that, here we are. Did you have something else, Mr. Gold?
What Sister Barb just said, because we have people from all over. She's like the UK, Australia, Africa, Panama, America. All of y'all's gathering in the house today.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is incredible. For those who do not know, we run a little ministry called Yah Scriptures, and Yah Scriptures, we have the Torah Radio Network, and we also have what we call the Yah Scriptures Online, which is 52 different languages. And so we're able to get people from all over the world. It is the most incredible time I have ever been alive, and we are very, very humbled that we are able to even touch the word of our Creator in such a sense, right? We're some rogues, we're some guys out in the middle of the jungle. We're not holier than thou. We're not some Kodesha. We're just we're rugged. We're rough. We are the same as all of you guys out there. And the hand of the Creator doesn't always pick the pristine. He doesn't always pick the most Kodesh. Sometimes he goes amongst the weeds and he pulls out the weeds. And this is the incredible thing about fishing for men. This is the incredible thing about all of us and the duties that every single one of us have to the kingdom of our Creator. right? Every single day we've been given one more day to take deep breaths of air and be alive and be thankful for the great world that we have. And a lot of people are looking, they're like trying to find the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? Well, the meaning of life is simply living, right? The opportunity that we have, that we were given a soul, we were given a brain, we were given these bodies with these little phalanges and toes, and we can articulate and think and do things, and we can either do them good or we can do them bad. We can either present ourselves as the sons of the devil, or we can try everything possible to be the sons of the Most High. And that is what this is what this is all about. And the more people that read their scriptures, the more giddy I get, the more excited I get. And there's no more truth that you will find anywhere than the words of scriptures themselves. And you're not going to find this truth on a YouTube channel or a website or just anywhere, right? The truth is in the scriptures themselves. And we're at the end of a 6,000 year time cycle that we have been given. And thank the creator of the universe for stopping at 6,000 years, right? Can you imagine the state of the world if we did 6,500 years, right? If we did 7,000 years? When you read the Apocrypha books, and it becomes very clear that the creator of the universe, Yahuwah, changed life cycles and lifetimes down from thousands of years that we could go down to hundreds, then down to 800, then down to much, much less. And it wasn't because he didn't want us to live, but he says in the Apocrypha that we would just do more evil, right? Like the evil would become more evil. There would be no stopping this. And so now is a great time. If you've never ever heard of the Torah before, if you've never ever heard of this, guys, I'm not saying the Torah is a religious system. The Torah is a lifestyle that we find everything good that is in it. We learn what the heart, the mind, the soul of our Creator is, and how He wants us to articulate, how He wants us to treat others, how He wants us to treat our spouses, our kids. Everything that we need is in these first 5 books of scriptures. And so, guys, is with that I invite all of you guys to read your scriptures. Don't just take it from us that are sitting here. I mean, we're not qualified teachers. We're just people sitting here reading with all of you guys, discussing the scriptures, discussing the things that we see. And that's the amazing part of that. So with that, we are going to go over the laws, the statutes, and the commandments that are found in the first 5 books of scriptures. Now, guys, we have people are like, well, there's hundreds of commands. There aren't hundreds of commands, right? That's for those who don't read their scriptures. When you read your scriptures and you look through them, and guys, even though we have 157 commandments right here, inside these commandments, some of these commandments are reiterated 50 times, right? Guarding, one of those is to guard the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator, right? And it's commandment number 11 here, but it's reiterated over 53 times. Now, why do you suppose that our Creator made sure that the one commandment that was reiterated more than any other commandment anywhere is simply that we need to guard the covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments? And when you think about this, there's no other way that we can present this that we could say that the laws of our Creator have been nailed to the cross. That Mr. J came and he fulfilled the Torah so we can be cursed so we don't have to. That's not how it is, right? We have blessings and we also have curses that come with all of these. And the curses aren't necessarily that the creator of the universe is going to make terrible things happen to you. The curses are simply that, let's say, for example, that you eat unclean food. You end up with some kind of pig disease, right? The pig is not a food. We all know this, those of us who read scriptures. But pig is not a food. So let's say, for instance, that we do get sick and it takes us to the hospital and we die because of this, right? Those are the curses that we fall under when we do things outside of scriptures. So as we read through these laws, these statutes and commandments, they're not long, guys. It'll take us maybe 15, 20 minutes to get through these. And if you guys have any kind of questions or comments, or you guys want to discuss them, we love to break for questions. We love to break for comments. And so Miss Nicole has instructions to break us for things that we need to chat about, because that's why we are here to chat with that. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, the first commandment of our Creator is commandment number 1, which is to be fruitful. Gentlemen, take it away.
Multiply. We are to multiply throughout the earth. There's replenish it to get back to the earth. We're not supposed to take just away from it. We're supposed to get back to it.
Subdue it. I've remembered the fish, fowl, and every living creature. We should be the ones in charge of the animals, and they should not be in charge of us.
The herb bearing and every tree is for food. Yahuwah gave us the trees and the herb bearing so that we have food to eat.
Man and woman should build their own families. They are to leave their house and they are to be one flesh.
Master sin. We are to become the master of sin, not let sin master over us. Every clean moving that lives shall be food for you. Yahuwah gave us moving animals so that we have meat and they are clean so that we can eat them. That's what Noah ate when he was on the ark.
Do not eat the blood. There is life in the blood, and we should not be eating it.
Walk before me and be perfect. Yahuwah said we should obey his command. We should be perfect before him and be perfect in his eyes. Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments. Yahuwah repeats his command over 53 times. Yahuwah wants us to obey his laws. He wants us to obey them forever throughout all generations.
Every male shall be circumcised at 8 days old. That is how we enter the covenant with Yahuwah.
Teach your children the command, then guard the way of Yahuwah. You are supposed to raise up a family in the Torah. You're supposed to teach them the command. You're supposed to teach them the laws, statutes, and commandments. Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations. We're supposed to remember Yahuwah's name. We're supposed to pass it on to the next generations. We're not supposed to forget it and start calling him God.
Keep the Passover, Pesach. It is the first feast of the year, and it is also remembrance.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread, the festival of matzah. That is the second feast after Passover. We are to guard 7 days of no leavened bread. There is one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew. It doesn't matter if you were born in the land or if you were grafted in, you were supposed to follow the Torah, and there's only one Torah.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah. Whether it was animals or people, the firstborn belonged to Yahuwah.
There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah. It is Yahuwah and Yahuwah only. There are no idols, there are no other things we should worship. It is Yahuwah, and we're supposed to be the only Elohim in our lives. You shall not make graven images. This was a killing offense. If you were to make an image, you were to be taken out and stoned, because there is no other Elohim before Yahuwah. Do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught. We're not supposed to swear by his name falsely. We're not supposed to say his name in vain. We are not supposed to use it as a swear word. We're supposed to keep his name and use it with the utmost respect.
Keep the Shabbat, Sabbath. It is the 7th day that we are on now, and we are supposed to rest. We do no work, we do no cooking, and we just worship Yahuwah and rest.
Honor your parents. They raised you, they brought you into this life. You are supposed to show them respect and love. Do not kill. Every life is sacred. Yahuwah does not want us to kill. That is not our place to decide who lives and dies. There are commands for those who wish to stay outside the city gates and deal with if they break certain commands.
Do not break wedlock. It is a covenant you should not break.
Do not steal. If it's not yours, don't take it. Do not make someone's life harder by taking something that you want. Do not make false accusations against your neighbor. Be honest with your neighbor. Honest. We're talking about your neighbor, and if you make false accusations against your neighbor, you are committing a major sin.
Do not make an altar from a rock the tool has touched. If you're making an altar, it should be made with pure tools. It should be made with pure rock, not something the tool has been used on.
Do not go up the altar by the steps. We're not supposed to go up the altar by the steps. That was for the people who were anointed, for the people who had chosen. Normal people that were not chosen by Yahuwah to do this, we're not supposed to go up by the steps. Yahuwah's law is for criminals. There are certain set-apart laws for criminals, how to repay what has been taken, how to deal with what has been stolen. If a man steals cattle, he shall restore it 5 times. If you steal someone's animal or someone steals your animal, you're supposed to give it back 5 times. You steal 1 sheep, that's 5. You steal 2, that's 10.
Do not lie with beasts. That is an abomination for Yahuwah, and anyone doing it would be put to death.
No sacrifice to other Elohim. You are to worship Yahuwah only. You are not supposed to sacrifice to other Elohim. That is a punishable by death offense. Do not oppress the stranger, fatherless, or widow. We are supposed to help those people. They are already oppressed as it is. And if we oppress them more, we are hurting them and pushing them farther away from someone that we could be teaching or helping.
Do not charge your brother interest. He is your brother. You're not here to make money off him. You're here to help him.
You borrow your neighbor's raiment. You must return it to him before sunset. Elaborate on that. Do not curse the ruler of your people. When you have a ruler of the people, they are holy. They are following the laws. You were supposed to not curse them. You're supposed to bless them. They were there to keep you safe and lead you. But the leaders of today are not those people.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast. If you find something that has been killed by an animal, you are not to eat of it.
No false report.
We're supposed to be honest in everything that we do. When you make a report, it is supposed to be exactly as the truth should be. Do not follow the multitude of evil. We should be with Yahuwah's people, and we should not follow the multitude of evil. Do not judge righteously against the poor. You are to have no difference in judgment when it comes to Torah between rich and poor. There should be no bribes. There should be nothing that diverts your eyes from truth and justice. Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray. The animals have done you no harm. The animals are not out to hurt you. They are not like that. They are not evil animals. You are supposed to return it even if it is your enemy. Help the animals of your enemy. If you see the animal stuck in a ditch, you see the animal hurting, and you need to, and even if it belongs to your enemy, remember the animal is not your enemy. The animal is not the one who's wronged you. So help the animal out, because that is a creature of the Most High. Stay away from rumors and gossipers. This is what causes evil. This is what causes fake lies. This is what causes issues inside of a camp. You're supposed to stay away from these types of evil. Take no bribes. Bribes corrupt people. They blind the eye. Do not take bribes. You're supposed to do everything honestly and truthfully. Do not oppress the stranger. Love the stranger. We were strangers in a foreign land. And when Yahuwah took care of us, He wants us to bring the stranger in. He wants us to show love. Yahuwah wants more people part of His family. He does not want people kicked out because of their race or where they're from. If your land rests in the 7th year, every 7 years, let the land rest to reproduce, to get its nutrients back. Yahuwah would bless you with enough in the 6th year so that you would not have to grow food in the 7th. Do not mention any pagan names. These pagan names are false deities. They are demons. Who does not want us to mention them? He does not want us to bring these names into our thought. Keep the feast of Yahuwah. Yahuwah has feasts that He has for us. He said, these are days off. These are days that are high Shabbat. You're supposed to cook. You're supposed to eat. You're supposed to feast and follow what I tell you to follow. Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk. This is a pagan tradition. This is a tradition that the Satanists would use. Yahuwah said He does not want His people falling in the satanic practices. Obey the messenger Yahuwah sends before you. When Yahuwah sends a messenger before you and he is proven to be a messenger, you're supposed to obey him. You're supposed to follow him and do what he commands you to do. Do not bow down to other Elohim or other gods. This, another one of those, there are no mighty ones before Yahuwah. We only worship Him only. We are not supposed to bow down to other Elohim. We are supposed to reverence them. We are supposed to break them down and destroy them. And we're supposed to serve Yahuwah, and we can serve Him by obeying His Torah and teaching others about it. Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land. You are supposed to not join in pacts with these people. You're not supposed to join in evil with these people. We saw what happened when Joshua joined in pact with the outsiders of the land and how it cursed him, how it broke part of what he had going on. Do not make or use this anointing oil on a honorable person. Do not make or use this perfume on a honorable person. 2 commands here that there's specifically for the Levites that give us the instructions on how to make them, but we are not supposed to make them. We're not supposed to use them. It is only for the Levites and those that were anointing the people of Yahuwah. Do not eat the fat. It is something that was only for Yahuwah. He liked the smell of it. We are not to eat it because it's full of toxins. Do what you say you're going to do. Yahuwah wants you to be a man of your word. If you say you're going to do something, then you do it. You honor your word, and Yahuwah wants truth and honesty in everything that we do. Return. What is your neighbor's? And just like the animal, the other objects or things is not your enemy. You return it to your neighbor. You are supposed to do what is right. You are supposed to be honest with what you have. Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws. Yahuwah has a set of dietary laws, what we can and cannot eat. So Yahuwah tells us here in the Leviticus 11 exactly what we can and cannot eat, and pig is on the do not eat list. When it's time of separation, they're supposed to have a time where they are able to rest, they're able to be away, and you do not
don't bug them. Don't bug them. Give them some rest. Give them some peace and quiet. And the Creator is extremely ingenuity. When he's just a very incredible engineer, and every single thing that is built, including the womanhood style, is built with a purpose, and it is built with things that there's other countries out there that will absolutely observe a woman in her cycling time, right? It's like we have grown up in a society where it's like we stick the mothers at work, we stick them in the army, we stick them everywhere, but we forget the entire purpose of our female mates is that there's a separation for all of this stuff, and in the proper Torah-based world, it's a peaceful time, right? It's something that we have to make and do peace, and this isn't something that anyone ever talks about, right? Nobody really even makes these kind of talks or suggestions or brings it, but I would like to make sure that we are all aware as much as we possibly can be, that we need to support our women. We need to take care of them as they are doing things that no man is ever going to want to attempt. Continue on.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws. Yahuwah set up hygiene laws for when we are unclean, when we enter the temple. How Yahuwah wants us to clean ourselves. And he gives us commands on what to do when we are unclean, and to stay away from the camp so we do not corrupt the rest of the camp.
Keep the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippurim. It is the day where we are to be repenting, and we are to afflict our beings, usually done by fasting.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family. This is an abomination to Yahuwah. This is a sin that which should be punishable by death. You should not be uncovering the nakedness of anyone in your family. Do not take your woman's sister for wife. We see what happens when you have your wife and you marry her sister as well, with Leah and Rachel, and the fights they had, the children fought. There was no love in the family. It was always contentious. So the only time they had peace was when they were separated from each other.
Do not lie with women her uncleanness. You will be unclean as well as something you're not supposed to do.
Do not sacrifice your children to Moloch. There should be no child sacrifice at all, but especially to Moloch. He said, stay away from Moloch. Another, you shall not make sacrifice to other Elohim. You should be taken out and stoned if you were to sacrifice to other Elohim. Do not be a sodomite. Yahuwah says that is not how it's supposed to be. That is very unkodesh, and Yahuwah wants us to be kodesh. Be kodesh. Yahuwah says be kodesh in everything that we do, and we can be kodesh by obeying his commands, by honoring what he says and staying clean.
Do not reap the corner of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard. You're supposed to leave the corner, you're supposed to leave it for the poor, for the homeless, those who need help, those who need the food more than you do.
Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor. Just like stealing, you are to be honest with your dealings, with your business, with your weights and measurements. You are not to scam your neighbors. You're not to steal from more than what is owed. Do not lie or be a liar. If it is not the truth, it should not come out of your mouth. It should not be uttered to existence. Yahuwah wants the truth and only the truth.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due. If you have someone who works for you and you will get told that you pay them what you owe them.
Do not harm the disabled. You are to take care of the disabled. You are supposed to help them. You are supposed to make their lives easier. You're not supposed to make their lives harder, as it are already hard enough.
And the disabled, we're going to go over this one a little bit because we had this conversation today and over this, and being disabled isn't something that is like obvious, right? It's not you're in a wheelchair, you're in crutches, or you're like you've got problems like this, right? We have, in fact, I was talking to Jade and Cade. We have a couple of wild, woolly, crazy customers when it comes to some people that are a little bit off, and the boys decided they're not going to go back to this one lady's house. And she was like 3 years ago, this lady went completely crazy. I still remember her like coming outside the house, like screaming, doing some crazy stuff. And like, I'm like, Jay gets in the car. He's like, we're never going to go back. But she keeps emailing us, right? And she's like, please just come and help. And none of the boys want to go back. And so we started discussing this. I'm talking today, and I'm like, boys, just because there's certain people that are disabled mentally, right? Like they don't want to be those people that walk out the door, walk back in, shut the door, lock the doors, lock the blinds, lock all this stuff. They're scared to death of everything. They think their neighbors are spying on them. They think that, it's like one of those things that sometimes it's not the obvious disabilities that we can see, but there's other times where we can show kindness and we can turn kindness into helping those that are jacked up, right? And that's the kind of stuff, and that's what I'm pushing down to my boys, that we are trying to, even in the event they get into things where people are out of control over a simple computer repair, that's where we can change things and help the disabled. And so, I just want to put that out there because these are the kind of conversations that we have that, boys, go back, help this lady. She's crazy. She might throw rocks at you or something like that, but you're big boys. You'll be all right. So continue on, fellas.
Where are we? Okay. Do not endanger your neighbor. You're not supposed to endanger your neighbor. If you have a situation where it can endanger your neighbor or put his life at risk, we're not supposed to be there. We're not supposed to do that. We are supposed to take the right precautions so that our neighbor is not endangered. Do not hate your brother. You are to take care of your brother. You are supposed to love him. He is your brother. Rebuke your neighbor for his sin. If your neighbor is sinning, you're supposed to talk to your neighbor and rebuke him so that he is not sinning, so that he is not doing his wicked sins.
Love your neighbor as yourself. This is an odd one because in the Christian religion, I was just looking it up while the boys were going over this. I was like, what are the laws of the Christian religion? I'm asking the old intelligence programs that are out there, and one of them was like, oh, the laws of being a Christian is you love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and you love your neighbor as yourself. And then it goes on to a bunch of other things. But in of itself, we have to understand that loving our Creator and loving our neighbor, it's not lip service, right? When we are, when you say something and don't do it, the word for that is a hypocrite, right? It's hypocrisy. And when we are like, James talks about it, right? Somebody comes up to you, a neighbor or a friend or something, like, I need something. And you're like, well, go in peace, my friend. We'll pray for you, right? That you're not taking care of them, right? You're literally allowing them to leave, and you know that they're going to be in a jacked up position, but yet you're like, blessings to you. We love you. We'll be praying for you. Things of this nature. And there's more to this love your neighbor and love our Elohim than simple lip service, right? We can say we love everything all we want, but it's by our actions, right? It's by our actions to our neighbor. It's by our actions to our Elohim. Do we know the Torah and do we love the Torah? Because if you don't know the Torah and you hate the Torah, then by default you hate your Elohim Most High. Now, you tell any of these people in the religious systems, say, for instance, the Christians, you say, well, you guys don't love the laws of our Creator. That must mean you hate the Creator. They're like, oh, they'll pick up their rocks and they'll kill you. And they'll tell you that it's only by grace. You don't have to do anything with faith. That it's once saved, always saved. But then we come across all of these other scriptures that very clearly go against the once saved, always saved. Many, many, many times. We find in scriptures that, simple Matthew 7, you don't even have to get too deep in it, because depart from me, you who are lawless, very much qualifies those who can enter the kingdom and those who cannot. So when we are loving our neighbor as ourselves, it's in very, very important scriptures, because it is the second of the greatest of the commandments. And if that is in the nature of our Creator, that we are loving our neighbor as ourselves, well, we can't nail the laws to the cross. We can't say that they've been abolished or been fulfilled, that we don't have to do them anymore, because in of that self, you're getting rid of all the rest of the great scriptures that we have that are part of our doctrine. So continue on, boys. Do not diverse your cattle. Don't be interbreeding all these crazy different species of different things, right? Brahmas, and Holsteins, that kind of a thing. So that we're not creating, giant mutants of various things.
Do not mingle your seed. Don't take multiple types of seeds and stuff. Don't throw it all together. Just plant things separately.
Do not mingle linen and wool. We're not supposed to do that. It creates a very bad vibration. It is unhealthy for people to wear mixed like that. Do not lie with a taken woman. She's taken, she is someone else's. You are not supposed to commit adultery. You're not supposed to make more sin in the land.
Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years. When you have a tree that you plant and it starts producing fruit, wait for 3 years before you eat that fruit so it can reabsorb the fruit and get nutrients to become stronger.
Do not practice sorcery. Rather than practice sorcery, we are not supposed to do this thing. It's black magic. It is evil. It is a demon possession. It is something that was shown to the people by the fallen angels, and we need to stay very far away from that and the people who conjure these kind of things.
Yeah, and I'd like to make a comment on that, because I saw Yahuwah 777 made a comment regarding doctors and being like part of the sorcery thing, and I would like to just basically throw on here that we knew Luke was a doctor as well, a physician. And there's a lot of physicians that are holistic, right? They're the naturopaths, the people that are not pushing the sorcery or pushing the wizardry, pushing all the pharmakia, stuff like that. And so I don't think necessarily being a physician is a bad thing. But if you are under the Rockefeller medical establishment and you are doing what your masters tell you as you're killing off the world, that's where we're getting into some problems. Continue on. Do not round or your beard or the corners of your head. As a big bearded brother here, to all you guys out there that are big and bearded, what's up, everybody? And that's one of the things, right? It's like a lion's mane majesty, right? Those who have beards, you don't have to say a lot to them, right? You can look at them and you kind of get who they are for the most part. Right? It's a different breed of folks, right? And I see guys with beards and I immediately trust them, and I probably shouldn't. But I know for right out of the gate, Jade, is that not? Should I not trust him?
No. I mean, you should talk to him first.
All right, how about this? How about if they're wearing tzitz and they have beards? I immediately trust
There's a
them.
few of them that,
Are
you
they
know.
blue?
Yeah, they're blue, not white.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good?
Yeah.
All right, we're good. All right, so we qualified. I'm working. All right.
We'll talk about the white stuff.
Yeah, let's not talk about the whites. If it's white, run. Get out of there. It's not good. Head on, guys.
Do not kill yourself for the dead. You're not supposed to shed blood. You're not supposed to do this pagan tradition for the dead. You can mourn over them, but you're not supposed to shed blood for the dead.
You shouldn't cut yourself, period, right? It's probably not a good idea. I mean, if you just want to, like, look at this commandment in of itself, it's probably...
snake bite, though. Now you, like, drain the poison.
That's going to be a different situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes you slip with a knife and you cut something, you cut your finger or something. That's not what that means.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it'll work. We haven't been bit by a snake, but, in the event you're bit by a snake, we're supposed to take your the bite, and we're supposed to make a little X's over the top of it, and you're supposed to suck the blood out. That's how they say to do it. Or they have the snake kits. And, guys, we talk about this because we are loaded with snakes. Like, this is the land of snakes, and we are the prey, unfortunately. If you're looking for a meal, it's the great white meal right here because they come around and they eat the big white meat, which is us. Continue on, folks.
Do not get tattoos. Your body is not a canvas. You're not supposed to start marking your body with things of the world. If Yahuwah wanted to give you tattoos, you would have tattoos, but he did not.
And you got tattoos. You got little moles. You got your freckles. You guys have things. Your hairlines are all different. I mean, there's so many different things that, we're so unique, right? We don't need to, like, do these freaky tattoos. And, a lot of us have tattoos. A lot of us didn't know. A lot of us get it. But now that we know, we probably shouldn't defile ourselves anymore because, at the end of the day, you're bloodletting, right? You're not only just inking yourself up, but you're also, there's blood, and you never know. I mean, these tattoo guys, you never know what you're going to walk away with in a few years with some sort of weirdo disease. So it's best not to, right? Keep our temples clean. Next, Integral.
Do not prostitute your daughter. You do not want to prostitute your daughter. That's really evil. That's bad. You should not do that. Stay away from those kind of things and take care of your children.
Yeah.
Do not defile your temple. Do need to keep our bodies pure and keep our bodies clean before Yahuwah.
Do not consult the medium. Again, with the witchcraft and sorcery and the people who do those kind of things, you do not want to be around those people. You don't want to talk to people. You don't want to ask those people for advice. That's not the kind of people you want to be around.
Respect your elders. Oh, the long tooth amongst us. Oh, the gray hairs. I love you all. This is like some of the best learning I have ever learned are from the gray hairs, the long in the tooth. And we got the Grand out there. We got Sister Barb and her crew. And, it's like once you get to a certain age, if you're a Torah keeper, lights start shining around you, right? Like it is very, very easy and very, very clear that you can identify those who are wise amongst us. That being said, right, we don't want to beat up the old people. We don't want to, even if they're not Torah keepers, but there's a reason that our Creator has set up such guidelines, right? And the one thing about being down here in what I guess they used to call this a third world country. Unfortunately, now, like, North America is like a fifth world country, and I don't know if we've gone up to like a second world country or something else. But everybody, you get old down here, right? And you camp out with your family. You got dudes that are 30 years old, and they got their 55-year-old dads, and their 80-year-old dads, and then great-great-grandpas like 104. And they're all in the same house, and they all just kind of sit around. It's just part of it, right? The thing of like nursing homes and this whole like we have to go find a place to organize our old people, and we don't want to take care of them because it's a pain, and old people are hard to deal with, right? It doesn't exist outside of the United States. That was one of the shocking things, right? There are nursing homes down here, but they're few and far between. Like, they do not just take the old to the nursing homes. You just put them in a room, you take care of them, and eventually, right, they go to the peaceful place. So that all goes down to respecting our elders and loving that. And it's hard to respect your elders when you're sticking them in nursing homes and, you don't have no idea what's even going on. Continue on.
Correct weights and measures. We are not supposed to rip people off. We're supposed to take advantage of them, no matter how easy it seems to be for the world. Do not do that. People get scammed all the time, and that's not correct weights and measures.
And it's like you look at the United States of America, the government, right? Every single day you see a headline of like, we went into this country, we stole their uranium. We went in there, we stole their president. We went in here, we're taking their oil. It's like where does it end with this satanic government of the United States? Who's going to stop these kind of things? But yet you look at these commandments of our Creator and imagine a government that was under the Torah. Wouldn't you guys want that? Would you want to be ruled under the Torah? I do. I want to be judged under the Torah. As scary as that's going to be, I would rather be judged based upon the Torah than be judged on man's worlds. And so when we have the understanding of what the Torah is, that is the government. This is why we're all seeking the new kingdom, right? This is why we're dying to get Messiah Yahushua. This is why we're hoping that we're going to be caught away like Enoch and Enoch. And it's just one of these things that the government that we are looking forward to is not like the government of today. Continue on. Anybody?
Do not walk in the manners of the nations. Over there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you're not walking in the manners of the nations. We are not supposed to stay. We're in the nation's traditions. We are supposed to get out of Babylon. We are supposed to stay away from the evil that this world does. We are not to follow and participate in their evil doings.
Yeah, and there's a big thing coming up. Walking in the manners of the nations it appears that they are going to be running a draft in December, and so there's going to be a lot of choices for a lot of Americans. If you're joining the draft, what does this mean for you? Well, it means that you are working with the nations, right? If you are going off to battle, fighting regardless if they're forcing you to, guys, I'm telling you, Mexico is wide open, right? Mexico is an open place. I would jump the borders in the event that they want you to fight for the rest of the nations and this draft really, truly happens. It's time to bust a move out of there, right? It is time to do everything possible not to fight for Babylon. This isn't the time. This is a time we absolutely need to separate ourselves from the rest of this madhouse and what's coming, because we don't want to be a part of it, right? This is absolutely the time to be away from the rest of the nations.
Keep the Feast of First Fruits, Shavuot, Overcount, and Pentecost. It is a time of year we're supposed to give our first fruits to Yahuwah. It is a time that we are supposed to rejoice, and it is the first of our fruits that we give to the Levites. But now we don't have Levites anymore, so we don't have people to give it to, so you give it to people who are in need.
Keep the Feast of Trumpets. It is a appointed time for Yahuwah, and where you blast your trumpets.
Keep the Feast of Sukkot, Shemini Atzeret. It is a time every single year where we stay in booths or tents, and we are supposed to do it as a remembrance and also a practice for the future.
If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death. Do not blaspheme the name of Yahuwah. It is a holy name, and we should not attack it.
If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another. Great instructions, great guidance, great laws, and a great kingdom, right? These are the kind of things that make up a great government. Look at all the horrible commands, and my examples are always North America, because that's what I grew up in. And I know there are a tremendous amount of rules, regulations, right? Just to walk out your door, there's rules and regulations. You can get arrested simply walking across the road at the wrong place. So these are these beautiful rules and regulations, right? I'm like, okay, if somebody steals an animal, how do we deal with this guy? Do we kill him? Well, no, it says according to Torah that he has to pay up for this, right? If you accidentally do something, this is the rules and regulations we are under. Look up.
Repay injury, or which one are we on?
Yep, that's you got it.
Repay injury for injury. If you injure someone, they're supposed to be able to injure you back. And it was eye for eye and tooth for tooth. Yehoshua said to forgive those when they injure you, but the command is still bad.
Honor the Yovel, the Jubilee year. Every 50 years, there was a reset where debts, slaves, things would go back to normal, and they would all be forgiven.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay who you have trespassed against. When you sin, you are supposed to confess to Yahuwah. You are supposed to repent. You are supposed to repay. If you trespass against someone, you wrong them, you are supposed to repent and ask for forgiveness from them as well, and confess to Yahuwah against those trespassed against.
The Torah of being a Nazir, a Nazirite. This is where you would enter into a covenant with Yahuwah, where you were especially holy, where you would cut your hair, you would eat any grapes, nothing to do with wine, and you could not be near anything dead either.
Wear zizi on the four corners of your garments, is where the tassels is remembrance, to show that we are Yahuwah's people and to remember his commandments, that he is with us always.
And they're super stylish too. If you guys don't wear tzitzits, I would strongly encourage you guys to pick up a pair of tzitzits, and look how cool y'all look with a pair of tzitzits on.
The laws of whoever touches a corpse. If someone touches a corpse, they are supposed to go outside the camp. They are supposed to bathe. They are supposed to clean themselves.
Okay. Follow Yahuwah's Torah, law of inheritance. Okay, you know, the same great instructions that we've been given. Well, we have some stuff for inheritances. Amazing. Okay, never mind.
Law of keeping your oath to Yahuwah. When you make an oath to Yahuwah, you're supposed to keep it. You're not supposed to break it. You are supposed to follow through with whatever you promised to Yahuwah. And if a woman says something in a house of either her father or her husband, the man can void the woman's promise, but a man's oath cannot be voided.
Do not add or take away from the word. Now, this was an interesting thing because, Raw for Yah posted some stuff about Shaul. Now, Shaul, in of himself, has damned a tremendous amount of people to hell, and you can't really say this guy's responsible for it, because we have actually broken Deuteronomy 4:2 by simply adding Shaul's letters to our scriptures. And you can say, well, that's not Torah, it's just extra scriptures. But the problem remains, and the thing that nobody can ever answer for me, is who decided that a bunch of letters back and forth to different ecclesias should end up in our scriptures? Now, when you look at these different ecclesias, and you look in the book of Revelations, most of these the churches are all gone, right? They all came and they all went. So somehow we have a bunch of problems that a bunch of little churches back in the day had. And these little churches were sitting there without guidance, and they were writing our dear brother Shaul. Now, when Shaul writes back, he writes these things that are a little twisted for people that don't understand scriptures. And for those of us who've actually read the Torah, when you read the writings of Shaul, all you can do is roll your eyes. Because when you look at simply why do the Christians not keep Sabbath, Shabbat, right? There's 3 different verses inside of Shaul's writings that they've all decided they don't have to keep Shabbat anymore because they're not under that guidance. So before we hook a star to Shaul's little writings, I think it's a good idea for us to wonder, how did they get into our scriptures, and why do we not have anything else in scriptures remotely anything like Shaul's? Why is it that Shaul says things that would get him stoned outside the city gates, right? These are the things, if you take him back to Moshe's days, what Shaul is writing, if he left it as a statement without clarifying it, they're going to take our brother outside the gates and they're going to rock him. So, for those who are Palestinians, those who are in the Paul said clique, guys, we have to understand what Yahuwah said first, right? What did Yahuwah say? When we understand, when we fully grasp, when we're fully walking the ways of Yahuwah, if you want to venture into some mysterious writings, then Brother Shaul's writings might be for you.
Guard your soul.
Okay.
You are to protect your soul by keeping the commands of Yahuwah. Learn to fear Yahuwah. We need to fear and respect Yahuwah. We need to have a respectful fear that Yahuwah, He is our Creator. He can end our life very quickly, and we need to obey Him and follow His laws.
And it's not going to just end it very quickly. He can end it very terribly, right? We have scriptures that talk about some of these kings that decayed to the point where their bodies decayed so much that they wouldn't even be buried in the same tombs that the rest of the kings were built into, because they were corrupted. And they were corrupted because these people themselves, their mind was corrupted. And so Yahuwah fed them a disease as what their mind was. And this is why we don't want to tick Yahuwah off. This is why we don't want to walk that razor's edge when it comes to the Torah. We need to make sure that we are walking the Torah with every bit of our heart, mind, and soul, and nothing less. Continue on, fellas.
You shall love Yahuwah with all your heart. Everything you do, you have to love Yahuwah. He is supposed to be the best thing in your life. The number one thing, what you look for every single day, is obeying and loving Yahuwah. You shall bind the laws upon your hand and the frontlets between your eyes. Everything you do, you should be thinking about the Torah. It should always be on your mind. It should be your way of life.
And we're not talking the Judaistic way of like wrapping leather all over your head and hands and all of this kind of stuff, right? It's about when we say the word bind, we are literally attaching the laws, the statutes, and the commandments to our being. This is how we are supposed to walk the Torah. If you just heard it, but you don't know it, and you just don't walk it, that's not binding these laws on our on our bodies and the frontlets between our eyes. Continue on.
Right, the laws on your doorpost. You're supposed to have the Torah surrounding you. It's supposed to be on your doorpost. When you leave your house, when you enter your house, you're supposed to see the law. The law is supposed to show you. It is always supposed to be there to remind you above the Torah. Do not tempt Yahuwah. You're not supposed to cause him anger. You're not supposed to tempt him to wrath. You don't want to attempt to create a universe.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah. Anything that we do, it should be in the right in the eyes of Yahuwah, and we do that by judging it with the Torah if it looks right according to the Torah.
Do not be afraid of your enemies. When you have enemies come against you, know that Yahuwah is fighting for you. Yahuwah is protecting you, and do not be afraid of your enemies, because we saw what happened when the Israelites were afraid of their enemies. They were completely crushed.
Remember Yahuwah, and everything that we do should be remembering Yahuwah, and we should never forget him. We should never forget his name, and it should be passed on forever.
Circumcise your heart. There is supposed to be a circumcision of the heart, that we are in covenant with Yahuwah, that our heart is for Yahuwah in everything that we do.
Cleave to Yahuwah. We should be cleaving to Yahuwah. We should always be wanting to learn more about him, learn more about his Torah, and everything like that.
Swear by his name. We are supposed to swear by the name of Yahuwah, and only Yahuwah's name. We're not supposed to use other names, other mighty ones.
Destroy graven images. Back in the day when we were in a Kodesh land, if there was someone put up a graven image, you would destroy it. Nowadays you can't do that, it'll put you in jail.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah as the pagans do to their Elohim. Yahuwah does not want us to make him a physical form. He does not want us to make a statue of him to worship. Yahuwah does not need a physical form that made by man. And we also need to stay away from the idols. There should be no idols. There should be no pictures of Jesus on the wall. No cross around your neck.
Speaking of idols, have you guys seen what the orange demon made? Have you seen his 20-foot high gold idol that he made of himself? This is incredible. We live in a very, very strange time where you live with these, I'm sure everybody's heard of the story of the golden calf, right? I mean, even the Christians who are have a very hard time reading and comprehending, even they have heard about the golden idol, right? And about all these people that bowed down to the golden idol. Well, the orange demon had some big pastor of his, and this guy came down and he got in front of this little idol of Trump, and he prayed. He started praying right there. And this isn't the only thing. The orange demon has little golden idols all over. I mean, what kind of world are we living in? It's like we woke up in the middle of the book of Daniel. Or we literally woke it up at the end of times, and you got this monster that nobody can dethrone, nobody can get rid of. And this guy is putting up giant golden altars of himself. I don't know, man. This just seems like we're in a tough world.
Raw Food says he's also about to make a garden of idols.
Yeah, garden of idols. I mean, what's incredible is they tore out the rose garden they had at the demonic White House, and leaving China, the president of China gave him a bunch of rose seeds of rose. That's the only thing. He didn't leave with a deal. He didn't leave with anything else. He got a box of rose seeds, and he got rid of the garden, right? You see, the North American people are starving to death at some places, literally starving to death. If it hasn't hit you guys yet, give it 2 weeks. Let's be very, very cautious and understand what's going on. You have the orange demon that is putting up all of these huge, expensive things as he is fleecing North Americans to the point where we don't have months and months left, my friends. With the inflation and with all of this stuff that's coming on, it's interesting times to be alive. So these are why the Torah, this is like the greatest time in the world to be a Torah keeper, right? We see the writing on the wall. You don't have to be Danielle. You don't have to see Nebuchadnezzar's, writing on the wall, and we actually see what is right before us, and we are at a precipice of time changing. So, guys, this is the time to be a Torah keeper. This is the time to invite our Creator into your life by inviting His Torah into your life. Continue on.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with. Everything that you have is coming from Yahuwah. Every drink of water, every breath of air, everything is from Yahuwah, and we should be rejoicing in it.
Do not do what is right in your own eyes. Yahuwah wants us to obey him and follow him. We don't want to do what's right in our own eyes because we will sin. It might seem good to us, but it's not good to Yahuwah.
Do not hearken to the words of the false prophets. We're not supposed to listen to them. We're supposed to stone the false Nebiim. We're supposed to get rid of them.
Do not make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. When someone dies and you are mourning them, if you have hair between your eyes, you're not supposed to make it bald. You're not supposed to cut the hair off for the dead.
You shall not eat any abominable thing. We should only eat clean food that Yahuwah has told us is clean and not unclean food.
You should give to a stranger of clean food that dies itself, but you shall not eat of it. If there is clean food, you that dies, you can eat of it, but you cannot. You can give it to the stranger, but you cannot eat of it. Give tithe your increase of seed year by year. When you have increase of seed, You're supposed to give it to the Levites. You're supposed to bring it to them because they don't grow their own stuff. They are in the temple all the time. This is how they eat, is by the stuff that we give them. But we have no Levites at this time. So if you have increase, you can give it to those who are poor and needy.
Now you got filthy Levites. You got the fake Levites. You have the Christians, right? The pastors in the Christian church, right? Everybody who sits there and goes, give me your 10%, come up for the altar call. Let's once saved, always saved. Everybody's got it all figured out, right? They got it all figured out, but unfortunately, they're not using the actual playbook.
The laws at the end of the 7-year release. At the end of every 7 years, there are supposed to be freedom for the slaves. There are supposed to be stuff that returns their property and items returned back to their proper
Freedom
owner.
for all of us, yeah.
Yeah, and it's every 7 years this was supposed to happen.
Do not borrow from the nations. If you need to borrow something, borrow it from your people. You don't want to be a slave to the nations. Contracts, interest, things like that.
Not harden your heart, nor show your hand from the poor. When you see someone poor that is in need, you are supposed to help them. You're not supposed to let them suffer. You're not supposed to let them suffer beyond what they're suffering.
Yeah, don't do the James. Go. Be warm. Be blessed. We love you. Have a good day.
Yep. Start month 1. It was calendar. Month 1 is very important. It is the beginning of the year. It is the first time we have feasts in the year, and Yahuwah wants us to obey and guard the month.
3 times a year, all males shall appear before Yahuwah. Back when the land was pure, when it was holy, all males would go to Jerusalem, and they would appear before Yahuwah during 3 appointed times. But now that the land is polluted, you can't really do that.
So make judges and officers in all your gates. In the Holy Land, we were supposed to have people that were to use the authority of the Torah. They were supposed to follow and keep the justice of the Torah. They were supposed to be people for counsel and guidance. They were supposed to be people that knew the Torah, that were able to guide the rest of the people.
Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar. Yahuwah says he doesn't want the Asherah. It's an idol. It's something the pagan nations worship. We're not supposed to have Asherah poles at all, but especially not near the altar. There must be 2 or 3 witnesses. When someone is being accused, there must be 2 or 3 witnesses, because you cannot be condemned at just the mouth of one witness.
Hearken to the prophet Yahuwah is chosen. If there is a prophet that is actually true and from Yahuwah, you are to follow what he said. You're supposed to do as he tells you.
Do not. We're on the prophet test of Deuteronomy. There's a prophet test of the Deuteronomy, which is if these people say something that is completely wrong and it doesn't come true, or they start saying we need to go astray from Yahuwah, we're supposed to take them outside the camp and deal with them. Do not remove your neighbor's property line. Do not have correct weights and measures with everything. That you don't want to rip off your neighbors. You want to have correct weights and be a Kodesh person.
How to deal with a false witness among Torah keepers. If there is someone that is falsely witnessing, falsely accusing, you are supposed to handle them as they were trying to handle the person.
The first child gets double portions. Yahuwah wants the oldest child of the family to get double portions so he can take care of the family when their parents are no longer taking care of them. If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them. Do not be a thief. If you find something, return it to the person who owns it.
A woman should not wear what pertains to a man, nor a man wear what pertains to a woman. A man should be a man, and a woman should be a woman. There should be no confusion. There should be no sickness. There should be no evil in the midst.
If you find a bird's nest with the mother and the babies or eggs, take the babies, but not the mother. If you take the mother and not the babies, then the babies will die of cold. They will starve off, and you'll kill everyone there. But if you are hungry and you need that, take the babies or eggs so you can do that, so the mother can go on and reproduce and keep having more.
And just so you know, if you're there trying to get meat out of a baby bird or a bird, period, there's not a lot of meat there. So if that's all you have to eat, I'm not exactly sure how that would go down or what exactly.
It's a big bird?
Yeah, it's a big bird. Yeah, something of the sort. But there's also, like cling and uncling birds, and there's an absolute difference between things like vultures versus like things like chickens and various things. So, I don't know if you're gonna it might be better just to do a fast. If you're down to surviving off of 2 little baby birds, I don't know if that's going to make it very long.
If you build a new house with a flat roof that will be lived on, you must put a railing around it. Back in the day, people were living on others' roofs because they didn't have homes themselves, and you would put a railing up there so they didn't fall off and get hurt.
Do not be a prostitute. That is very wicked. That is very evil. Yahuwah does not want us to do that.
Do not use dirty money, right? Dirty money, right? All the money. All the money in the world isn't going to save our souls, right? All this money, and all we're doing is buying ourselves a warmer spot in Sheol. So it's one of these things that it's important, right? So don't use it. Don't get it. And it's not for us. It's for the rest of the Gentiles that live on dirty money.
The law of divorce. If people were to get divorced, which I did not want to be divorced, he had a specific way of going about it, so it was a correct way, that was a peaceful way, there was no issues on the way out.
Do not take a person's millstone for a pledge. If someone is pledging something to you, if you are taking something, do not have them give you their millstone, because that was their entire life. That was how they got food, that's how they made money, things like that. You'd be basically taking all their lives away if you took that away.
If you lend your brother, do not enter his house to get your payment. He must bring it to you, return his clothing before sunset, if that was his pledge. If you lend something to your brother and you need it back, you are not to enter his house to go get it. You are forced to take it back. He's supposed to give it back to you. And if he pledges clothing, or someone pledges clothing, they're supposed to give it back before sunset so they don't get cold at night. Do not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy. Yahuwah wants us to take care of these people. If they are a hired servant and they're poor and needy, what is oppression going to do for them? How is that going to make anyone's life better?
Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. The children are not put to death for the parents' sins. The parents are not put to death for the children's sins.
You lucky dogs.
Do not do not go back for the forgotten sheep in the field. Leave the stranger, fatherless, and widow. If you forget a sheep in the field, some kind of produce, you're supposed to leave it there. If you forgot it, clearly it's not that important, and it's good for the people that are going by that can't fend for themselves, they don't have food, to have something to eat.
Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain. If you have your ox working for you, don't muzzle him. Let him eat while he's working.
If your brother dies and has no child, you shall take his wife and name the firstborn after your brother. A way that your lineage doesn't die off back in the days, right? This is the way it was meant to be.
At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the Feast of Tabernacles. This way the people did not forget what the Torah was, and that way everyone would come together and they would hear the Torah.
All right. So there you go, guys. These are these simple little itty-bitty tiny commands that we have that guide us and guide our lives and guide our abilities to enter the kingdom. And so for the most of the world, these things are they're objectionable, right? They're like despisable. They're like things unachievable. But yet the same people that say you can't achieve these are the same people that have never even read them. And if they have read them, they've read them with a bias. A bias that says we don't need to do this because we are under the other laws. Miss Nicole, what do you got?
Joanna would like to know, if a true follower is wanting to marry someone from India, do you think that it could be as bad as being led away?
Is the person from India also a follower?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it doesn't matter where the person is from. It matters that is, like, I guess you're talking about a Torah-based thing, right? A lot of people will judge Iran because Iran is a Muslim country. And everybody's like, well, because you're Muslim, you suck. I don't see it like that, right? A lot of people will say, oh, well, the Indians, they must be damned because they have hundreds, if not thousands of different gods. They have different things. Guys, we all come from a pagan society. And if you guys, I would like to take you back to our father Abraham. Father Abraham. Now, do you think Father Abraham was a Jew?
No.
There was no such people as Jews. There was no such thing. He wasn't a Jew. Father Abraham came out of a straight up pagan society with he came from a very, very godless style of a world. And what you can see is that our Creator was able, we got dogs dreaming if you can't tell, he was taken out of this land. And so I don't think because you are in any part of the world that there is no hope, right? I guess, there's Torah-based people over in India, right? We have the scriptures over in Hindi. You can read the scriptures over in Hindi. It's not real popular out of all the other languages we do. Hindi isn't real popular because they got a lot of gods, right? They got tons and tons and tons of different little lowercase g gods. The thing about this whole setup is that we are told to love our neighbor as ourselves. And in the event that we do such a thing and we have an opportunity to minister, to give people the proper education, the doctrine, the things that are actually in scriptures, well, if we're not loving our neighbor as ourselves and we're violating them simply because of a religion they were born into, that most people are born into Christianity and they have no idea what it's even about, right? They were just born and this is what they believe. And so, no, I don't think that, going to India and marrying somebody in India, it's like every other relationship. You have to are these people reading scriptures? I mean, are they worshiping Shiva or something? I mean, what are these people doing, right? And so you would have to take it case by case, and you're not just going to want to go, a Torah keeper isn't going to go want to marry a Hindu person that's definitely in the Hindi religion. You're going to want to keep yourself set apart. You're going to want to, work with this guy. Maybe this guy from India can be educated. Maybe we can read Torah together. Maybe we can say, there's only one creator. There's only one. There's no other Elohim, my friend. This is what it is. And then that's the belief system of those in India is that. So no, I don't think my personal belief is, I don't think you should just go marry people that are in the opposite religion, but you shouldn't go marry a Christian either. You shouldn't go marry an atheist. You shouldn't go marry anybody. It's an unequal yoke, and you're going to get yourself into a pile of problems and probably end up divorced, because if you are in an unequal yoked relationship, we're not going to find what we are looking for those of us seeking the kingdom. Your spouse is going to be off totally in another thing. And, during the last pre-order of Yah Scriptures, where it was a pre-order, I got to talk to a lot of you guys out there, because people would, 5 months before we ever got the books, they'd place an order. So they kept calling my house over and over and over and over. And I'd pick up the phone. I'm like, hey, guys, how you doing? And I just sat and talked to them. But one guy in particular that I talked to probably 8 times over the course of a couple months, he is very Torah keeper-ish. And his wife is on the edge, but she goes over to her family and they all eat pig together. She takes her kids over there. They all worship and they go around the pig. And he would call me and he would just, pour his heart and soul out. And that is a common denominator amongst those of us who sometimes go into Torah and we're in a relationship, or those of us who are in Torah wondering if we will ever find anybody, because everybody around us is a happy pagan, right? Everybody's already got their salvation. Nobody wants to read scriptures. Nobody wants to sit down. The most valuable thing that we can do as a family is sit around and read scriptures, sit around and pray, bond the family like this. And this is what I told this guy, right? I told him, and after he said that she went to Christmas and all this other stuff, and I'm like, brother, I said, I don't know how to help you in this relationship, but what I can tell you is that if every single night you and your kids and your wife, if you can get her to sit down, and if she won't sit down, we'll start reading the scriptures. Every single night, read a couple chapters, and they're exciting. A lot of people don't understand how exciting scriptures are. And they're like, well, I gotta make it great for my kids. I'm like, guys, if you just read scriptures to your kids, they're exciting, right? You can really ramp this stuff up and get all totally psyched out on what scriptures say. It's crazy, right? You're never going to hear the kind of deplorability, some of the stuff in scriptures, along with the stuff that is the righteous way. So it's with all that. I don't know if I answered that or if I went rambling or not. Mystical, is there anything else? Am I good?
No,
okay. All right. I love your guys' questions. And guys, the questions from you guys are extremely important. And I will tell you why. I didn't realize it till this week, right? I went to the Torah Radio Network and I was watching something that we did 3 years ago. This little, I don't know if any of you were out there 3 years ago with us, but it was on the Torah Radio Network, and there was 10 or 11 people that were on and off. It was 10, 11, 12, 13. People were listening to the stuff we did years and years and years ago. So it might just be, 30 of us gathering here. But at the end of the day, some of the questions that you guys may have that we're talking about, that we're discussing, somebody years down the road may come and it may give them the answers they need. And so, guys, if you have questions, we do too, right? And we'll try to do the very best to answer in these using scriptures. So don't feel like you can't really discuss this, because this is why we're here, to read scriptures and discuss it. All right, now here we are. We are in the very, very last chapter of probably one of the greatest books in all of scriptures. And I stand by that, because Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy, is a recap. It's a recap of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. And inside of Deuteronomy, we hear everything reiterated to us in kind of a foundational standpoint. And so we are at the end of our brother. Did Moshe die yet? Is he gone?
No.
Okay, we are at the very end. And I will tell you, there has been times when I didn't know scriptures, and I got to this point reading these scriptures, and I actually started tearing up. When we lose our homeboy Moshe, after all of this, and you have read this, and you've been in these stories, it gets a little bit dicey, right? It gets a little bit like my heart hurts. And so we are here. Which one of you guys wants the honor of recapping all of this? Jaden, recap this, my friend.
So we had, from the very end, we had Adam, and then he fell astray in the garden and brought the world into...
Wait. Adam fell astray?
Adam, yeah.
Well, what, just him?
Well, Adam and Eve.
Okay, there you
But
go.
he's
Thanks,
man,
thanks.
yeah.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay,
They
go on.
fell astray. They brought the world into sin. They had their children. Cain killed Abel. And then they had another child. They started having generations. They had to have a flood because of the giants and the fallen angels. Noah had 3 sons. One of his sons went astray. He was corrupted. He had very wicked generations. But then we had Sheth, and he had, down the line, he had Abraham, and there was Isaac and Jacob, and the 12 tribes. And the 12 tribes ended up selling Joseph into slavery down in Egypt. They found Joseph and rejoiced. They're super happy about that after they had sold him into slavery. And then they all went down to Egypt to live there. 400 years, they were slaves. They became slaves after Joseph died. The Egyptians didn't care about them anymore. They didn't respect them, so they put them to slavery. And Moshe was born, and he was shipped down a river. He was found by the princess of Egypt, and she raised Moshe. And he actually killed one of the Egyptians when he was defending one of his own people. He ran away.
How do you think he did that? Do you think he cracked him over the skull? Or
Or he could
from behind?
He could have, or he grabbed him, threw him down. The guy hit his head.
Do you think he confronted the guy, or do you think he just did that?
Well, I mean,
they said he was taking a wander out in the land to see what his people are up to.
Yeah, he was wandering out, but I mean, you're gonna when he took care of that Egyptian soldier.
I think he just got angry and jumped the guy.
You thinking from behind?
Yeah.
All right, continue.
And then Moshe was afraid, ran away, took off for 40 years, and he was out wandering one day, and the bush was on fire, but it wasn't burning up. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe. He said, "Go free my people. You were going to go back to Egypt. Go free my people." And he did. They did 10 plagues. They killed a lot of Egyptians. It destroyed the land. They were free, and they've been wandering around this desert land, this wilderness, for 40 years now. And Moshe is getting towards the end of his life. He's dealt with a lot of people, a lot of stress. It's just amazing he made it to 120 years old, as much stress as he had. And he has dealt with the people. He's prayed for them, forgiven them. He ended up getting kicked out of the land because he did not obey Yahuwah on one thing, and that was to talk to a rock. But he smacked the rock for water, and he did it out of frustration because the people he dealt them for a long time at this point.
Does anyone blame Moshe for that?
No, not really. I mean, we probably would have done a lot worse. We probably would have started cursing the people and be like
throwing the rock on the people.
And he prayed and protected them. He was like, "I'm going to destroy them. I will raise up great nations from you." And he begged Yahuwah not to do that, and I'm not sure anyone else would have done that.
Yeah.
But he led them like no other king in Israel did, and he gave them a recap. This is now the new generation waiting to go and take possession of what is rightfully theirs, given to them by Yahuwah. And he's giving them a recap of the Torah and how the people fell astray. And he's saying, "Remember Yahuwah, fear Yahuwah." And he gave us Joshua. Here is Joshua. Here he is going to lead you into this land. And then he blessed the people. And here we are.
Yeah, thank you. That was awesome. Okay, so here we are, guys. And, I guess at the end of the day, I hope if any of us can hold a candle to our brother Moshe, then I guess we're doing okay. Because in terms of the kind of abuse that he took from the people, the kind of stress that he had when everybody was trying to pick up rocks and wanted to kill him every time they got upset or hungry or thirsty, they were going to pick up rocks and kill him. Very stressful, right? I mean, I think at some level, the stress would have been just, you couldn't even equate to the kind of stress that our brother Moshe had to have. So in the event that any of us can even level up any more close to Moshe, that is incredible. So let us get to our last chapter. Here we are. And Moshe went up from the desert plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, which is opposite Jericho. And Yahuwah showed him all the land of Gilead as far as Dan, and all Naphtali, and all the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Yahudah as far as the western sea, and the Negev, and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees as far as Zor. And Yahuwah said to him, "This is the land of which I swore to Ephraim, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, saying, to your seed I give it. I have let you look at it with your eyes, but you do not pass over there." Still to the very end, right? I mean, it's like Moshe knows this, right? But at the very end, what do you think he was thinking up there, right? The last moment. Do you think he was? You think he was crying?
I bet
he was crying.
I bet he's really disappointed. He probably regrets that moment more than anything in his life.
You think he's disappointed in himself, or you think
I would think he would be disappointed in himself. He knows what Yahuwah told him. There was no interpretation problem.
You think he's weeping on this?
He's towards the end of his life. He knows he's not going to make it long. So, he's probably sad.
What kind of joy would Moshe have at this point?
Maybe they're getting freedom from the Israelites.
Because he's dying?
Yeah.
That's freedom?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like he's also worried about the rest of the Israelites at this point. Like, will Yahushua be able to get them to the promised land without any problems? Will they make it safely? Things like that.
Because they had a horrible track record, right?
Will they listen to Yahushua fine?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And so, when you look at, Moshe as a leader, as somebody that I would think that we would want to aspire to be like him, right? I mean, he's patient. He seems like he's kind, right?
Yeah, some people. Yeah,
seems like he's gentle.
Yeah.
If he wasn't gentle, he would have already roughed these people up, right? He would have put hands all over these people. So this sounds like, when you're looking for a Messiah-style person, somebody who is like walking in the name and the qualifications of what our Messiah did, Moshe comes to mind on all this stuff.
And in his entire life, this is what he has fought for. He's protected the people for. He can look at it, but he cannot get a hold of it.
And they were in the desert. So how old was Moshe prior to him with Egypt?
When
he was like 80.
When he left Egypt?
Yeah.
Or when he came back?
When he came to first to the people.
He was about 80 years old when he went back to Egypt.
So 1/3 of his life, how old is he now?
120.
120. So like about 1/3 of his life, this whole part of the 1/3 of your entire life, which is a long time, especially when you're old. There's a difference between having all these adventures when you're young, but yet, I mean, he was at the 80 years old when he took on these people and had to deal with them. I mean,
80 for him probably would have been 80 for us. He's probably close to like 50 or something.
Yeah, maybe younger, because Yah keeps the people he loves.
They ate a lot healthier. They didn't have all the stuff as well.
They didn't have Monsanto to kill us all. So here we are. Okay, continuing on. 5. And Moshe, the servant of Yahuwah, died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of Yahuwah. Okay, what do you think this was? You think was he up on the top of the mountain when this happened, or did he come down off the mountain? What do you guys think?
I assume he'd probably died on top of the mountain there.
On the mountain?
I think so.
Yeah. And
so you think this was just down, and he sat there? Do you think he was crying when he died? Do you think that was the final? Was it real sad?
Maybe he knows he's going to get a peace, a rest, because he hasn't had rest in a very long time.
But your dying vision is that you see a land that you can't go into. I feel like crying right now because of Moshe. It's like this feels really bad for him. I feel really, really bad. I wonder if he died in peace, or did he die in what do you think?
I mean, he died talking to Yahuwah. He died. He's one of the only few people that actually talk face to face. Yahuwah. Like this is one of the guys that sits in his presence and they talk. Right? They don't talk through dreams and visions. They talk.
Yeah. So I hope Yah did him right at the end. I'm sure he did.
And it says that Yahuwah buried him. Yahuwah is actually like I don't think it ever talks about like Yahuwah burying somebody. I think he's the only guy that Yahuwah buried himself.
And we know was it Jasher or Jubilees where Satan was fighting for the body of Moses? You guys remember that?
I know it. I don't remember which one.
Was that the New Testament?
Yeah, that's New Testament.
Was it New Testament?
It's similar New Testament.
Isn't Yahushua talking about that or something?
No, was it? The New Testament? I don't think that's in regular scripture.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think
really. Maybe they mentioned it, but I think they went in a little bit more about it.
It's like Satan and Michael fought for the bones of Moshe.
Yeah, but I don't think that was in the. I don't think that's a script. I'm pretty sure that's Apocrypha. I do not remember that in regular scripture.
Is that Revelation?
Nah, that's not Revelation.
I thought it was
that's Apocrypha. I'm willing to. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'm gonna go for that. So somebody's looking it up here. Let us continue on as we try to figure this out. Okay, 6. And he buried him in a valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor. And no one knows his burial place to this day.
Yeah, Yah took his bone and he took him away.
Yeah.
Jude.
It was in Jude?
Jude 1:9.
Okay, what's it say?
But even the archangel Michael, when he was disputing with the devil about the body of Moshe, did not himself dare condemn him for slander, but said, Yahuwah rebuke you.
Okay, now see if you can find that in the Apocrypha, because I know there's something more about this, because we learned a little bit more. It didn't actually give us the mystery of what was going down, but there was something that Moshe, it's like Hasatan's always up to no good, right? Like this dude just can't leave the dead alone. And so he was like, after this, causing chaos and causing all this kind of stuff. As Eli looks that up, see if I'm off my rocker or not. Let's continue.
I think that part's really cool, that Yahuwah personally took care of his body. Yahuwah personally took care of his bones.
That's a father. You think Yahuwah cried on this? Probably. I mean, you think Yah gets sad?
I think he was sad when his son died. I think he'd be sad when Moshe died. I mean, I would imagine.
I'm sure you think, but
remember, this is the friend of Yahuwah. This is like the guy that Yahuwah would talk to.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't talk about. I don't think it doesn't mention anyone else in Scripture.
This is a guy whose face was shining when he got off of talking with Yahuwah.
Yahushua prayed to Yahuwah in the temple. I don't think he talked like he did with Moshe when we got the lifetime of Yahushua.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'd like to know, man. That's some of the questions I'm going to ask. I mean, how did this go down? Was this a sad endeavor? I can't imagine this was a great thing. You're about to die. Good luck with that or something.
Maybe seeing the land and seeing the beauty of it. Maybe that
helped him.
That eased him. That eased it a little bit.
Helped to death a little bit. That might be it. All right. We don't know. We're just reminiscing here. Okay.
It wasn't found anywhere in the Apocrypha.
Really? I'm off my rocker. Sweet. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. And Moshe was 120 years old when he died. His eyes were not dim, nor his freshness gone. Big stuff, right? This is a big stuff, right? We all get old. We lose it. We lose our flipping minds. It's gone. We start rambling. We start doing terrible things. We don't even know. But yet, Moshe was a young spring chicken when he was out. 8. And the children of Yisrael wept for Moshe in the desert plains of Moab 30 days. And the days of weeping and mourning for Moshe were completed. And Yehoshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom, for Moshe had laid his hands on him, and the children of Yisrael listened to him, and did as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. Now, when you're taking up a leadership position, especially taking up a leadership position of Moshe, I'm willing to guess that prior to the event of Moshe dying, that Yehoshua was actually running this, right? Like, it wasn't just he dies and you're immediately there. I believe that as he was old, Yehoshua was on his, was working through this whole kind of thing. But this was a heck of an event. What you got, Jade?
Yehoshua was Moshe's right-hand man. He took him up to the mountain.
Even from the youth.
This dude knows how to control and do what should be done in Israel. He knows. He was with Moshe at all times.
But what can we gauge from what Moshe told Joshua that we can maybe see in Yehoshua's world?
Be strong and courageous.
And then he kept repeating that, right?
Yeah,
be strong and courageous.
I wonder if Joshua was having like doubts, anxiety, or something. Like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm just nervous.
Any time that you come in under a awesome leader, or even a non-awesome leader, somebody that was super powerful, there's a power vacuum, right? There's a difference in all of this, and it's like there would definitely be a difference, and there's always going to be people that aren't okay with you taking over leadership. It doesn't matter if the company told you to be the leader or whatnot, or you just thought you were going to rise through the ranks. A lot of people will have an issue. So
I'm sure they were glad Korach wasn't here at this time.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
sure he would try to take over.
He's pounding from under the rock. Let me out. I could deal with this. Okay, 10. And since there was no Navi, and since then no Navi has arisen in Yisrael like Moshe, whom Yahuwah knew face to face, for all the signs and wonders which Yahuwah sent him to do in the land of Mitzrayim before Pharaoh and before all the servants and in all his land, and for all that strong hand and all the great fearsome deeds which Moshe did before the eyes of Yisrael. Bummer. That's it. That is that's our homeboy Moshe. He came and he done it. He done a good job of it. And when did we start reading the Torah, guys? When was it? Like 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
It's been 3 years ago. It's been 186 weeks.
180 something weeks.
186 weeks, guys, that we've been now reading this to get to where we are. And for those who have not read with us, guys, we started in Genesis 1. We didn't actually start with Yah Scriptures. We start with the Targums and some other stuff. But as we have made it through, Yah Scriptures came out, and inside of those 180-some weeks, we have made it now to this beautiful ending of this chapter. So, guys, for all of this, man, it's always encouragement that our forefathers left us an example of how we should do it and the ways that we should do it. All right, well, let's move on. Let's get to our next thing. Yochanan, Eli, are you give me a breakdown of where we're at here, my friend? You can? Are you not ready? Am I jacking up?
I was figuring when I was trying to figure
out. All right, you figured out. Kate,
we got Yochanan. We got one of the servants of Yahushua, one of the disciples. He was with him. He was with him through his life to the very end, and now he is writing to us. He is giving us his testimony. He's giving us his instructions, what he's learned, and what we should do, and how we should follow the Torah. He is the one that is fighting for the Torah, advocating for the Torah. When there's other things like Paul and there's other people advocating to fight against the Torah, he is saying you should not go and sin. He's saying you should keep the Torah.
Yeah. Did you have something?
Yeah, just our first ever one that we ever did, Genesis 1, was October 1st, 2022.
2022. And prior to that, you guys had done Youth for Yah. And you guys were live for like a while before that as well. Okay, so there we are, guys. That was a lot of time. Time just flies, doesn't it? Now, guys, what you'll find in the book of 𝐉𝐿𝐿, 1 John, is that this is an anti-Trinity book. There's more verses and more understanding out of this book from the words of 𝐉𝐿𝐿 and how he describes things than anything. So let's listen up and let's see what we can glean from this. And 𝐉𝐿𝐿, chapter 2. My little children, I write this to you so that you do not sin. And if anyone sins, we have an intercessor with the Father, Yahushua HaMashiach, a righteous one. Now let's talk about this, right? A lot of people don't understand this verse right here, right? We have an intercessor. Does any one of you guys, gentlemen, what is an intercessor? Anyone? Anyone?
Someone who speaks for you to another person.
Yeah. So in the event that we end up going to jail in the wonderful United States of not free America, you would have an opportunity to get an attorney. Now this attorney, unfortunately, it'll probably be a public pretender and probably is paid for by the state and is probably going to get you rolled up the river. But he's an intercessor, right? In the event that you go in before the bar, and in the entire, guys, if you didn't know, the legal system is completely satanic, right? It's just, I'm not even gonna get into it, but it's a satanic thing. The bar and all the way it's set up, it's jacked up. But he will be an intercessor because us as laymen's, we're not qualified to talk to the judge. We're not qualified to speak in a court of law because we don't know what to say. And so we have to look to the pretenders of these attorneys that we pay a lifetime of money to simply answer questions for us. Now, the good news here is that if we are Torah keepers, we have been given state-sponsored an attorney. We've been given Yahushua. Yay! The greatest attorney that has ever been known, the greatest one that's ever come and done it. And we don't even need an attorney that went and took the bar because he is the bar. He's the one. He's the Word made flesh. So we have the one who was with his Father prior to creation, where we know from the Apocrypha that the Torah was built before creation. So we know somebody who knew the Torah before we ever existed and knew it far better than we ever will. And this is our attorney. This is our attorney. But you know what? We don't qualify for this attorney if we are lawless. If we are those who don't love the Torah, if we don't have the Torah written in our hearts, mind, and soul, if you don't know the Torah, you don't want the Torah, it's bondage, right? Then you don't have an attorney. You don't have an advocate. You don't have an intercessor. You don't have somebody that's going to say, listen, I know my baby here, my loved one, you have done some problems, but you know what? He kept your Torah. And yes, we don't keep Torah perfectly. That doesn't give us a right not to try. It doesn't give us a whoopsie, since we can't keep this command, we're not keeping anything, right? That is like the Christian cop-out. Oh, we can't keep these, and if I can't keep one and it's all the same, then we're not going to keep any of them. So you want to be a unrighteous sinner, like you want to be like the most righteous sinner in that terms. So now, because of the words of John and our understanding that our Messiah is our intercessor, but we only get this intercessor if we keep Torah. Continuing on in 2, he says, and he himself is an atoning offering for our sins, and not for ours only, but also for all the world. Now, this is the truth, right? Our Messiah died for the entire world. But a darker truth is that most of the world doesn't care, and most of the world won't care. Right? In all this religious system, all these people that they love the Jesus, but they hate the word of our Creator, right? That's a problem, right? You cannot do this. You can't have one without the other. You cannot have a Messiah without the Torah. And the Torah without an advocate, without a perfect priest, we wouldn't know what to do, right? It's all in all. It's the same thing. The New Testament is the Old Testament revealed, and the Old Testament is the New Testament concealed. It's all one big book. It's not split. Continue on. And by this we know that we know him. How? If we guard his commands. Whoa! whoa, we just read this Torah command. And guys, the 50-some times that we have reiterated to guard the laws, statutes, and covenants of our Creator, we didn't count this, right? We didn't count anything past Deuteronomy. In all of our laws, statutes, and commandments, we have never gone beyond the book of Deuteronomy and listed up how many other times they're reiterated. So we know that we love and we know our Creator. How? By keeping His commands. Well, what does this say for the religious system? They don't know the commands. They don't even have commands. And in fact, what I was doing when you guys were going over the commands, I was looking up the laws of the Christians. And one of the laws of the Christians showed why you don't have to keep Shabbat. And you know, of all people, they quoted our brother Shaul 3 times, 3 different books. And this is the reason, right? Okay, so if we don't have the commands, then we don't love our Creator. Those are fighting words, right? The Christians will beat you up for it, right? Oh, they're like, oh, we love God with all our heart, mind, and soul. Oh, yeah? Really? Okay, well, we all know the answer to that. 4. The one who says, I know Him, and does not guard His commands is a liar, and the truth is not in him. That just hurt. That just hurt the Christian religion. That just hurt every religious system that is out there, right? John just calls every single person a liar in the world unless you guard the commands of our Creator. That was a huge judgment, right? Because we know that we love our Creator when we guard His commands, and we know we hate Him when we don't. We also know that we're a liar, and we know that liars don't inherit the kingdom. So we can lie all we want, but this is a bad lie to be into, because your eternity, your soul, will be judged based upon your understanding of what you think of as the truth. So if you want to have your Creator love you and welcome you in, then we need to keep His words, His laws, His statutes, what He wants us to do. 5. But whoever guards His word, the word, what word? What word are we talking about, gentlemen?
The Torah.
Yes. Eli, wake up here. Right, so we guard this word, right? So if we guard it, truly the love of Elohim has been perfected in Him. Okay, wow, this is big stuff. Wait a second. This verse said that if we guard Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, which is called the Word, then we know that the love of our Creator has perfected us. Does that mean we are sinless, boys?
No.
Why not?
Because we can still sin. We are still living in the Torah. We know what sin is. We are more accountable for our sin.
Right, absolutely. We are more accountable to our sin because we know what the Torah is. And I would rather know what the Torah is and know my weak points than not know what the Torah is and have every single thing be a weak point, right? That's the problem. Without the Torah, your entire life is a weak point. Continue on. 6, right? Yeah. The one who says he stays in Him ought himself also to walk, even as He walked. Okay, what does this mean? The one who says he stays in Him. So somebody says they want to stay in Elohim or they want to stay in Messiah Yahushua. How did Messiah Yahushua walk?
He walked the Torah. He walked the little perfect Torah.
He walked the Torah. He did not come with a little rebel flag that said, come join the Christian religion. He didn't say, guys, this is my dad's ways, or they're a little bit rigid. They're a little bit rough. They're just, I'm going to call them bondage, right? He didn't come say any of that, right? He said, I can do it. You can do it. He says, if you love your Elohim, you can do it. If you want to inherit the kingdom, then this is the quality. This is what we have to do. There's nothing else in scriptures that gives us any kind of clear indication of what salvation could be. There's nothing. There's no like, I can do X and this is it. I can do X and this is it. I don't have to do anything else, right? You can fall in love with Torah and you can start walking Torah, then you can flip and you can fall down the road and you can become worse than what you were before, right? So just because you keep Torah and start walking Torah, it doesn't mean that we have perfected the walk. It means that we understand the walk and that we know that the walk that we are walking will lead to our souls being protected. And that's what we're here for, right? What other reason are we to be here, right? To enjoy this life, to watch the Satanists dance around doing all their evil right before our eyes? No. We're here so that we can separate ourselves from the world and that we can write these laws on our heart, mind, and soul, that we can be a light to this darkness. You know, look at this world. Look at all these people that do whatever they want. All the Sunday worshipers, right? We're the only hope that they have, right? And I'm not going to say we're the only hope, because that's not true. But as far as the messengers that come from the Shamayim, the job that we are supposed to do when we are fishing for men. And if you remember that Messiah told everybody, remember the whole casting the net over to the other side, putting it in, they're dragging up 153 big fish. And Messiah says, guys, you're no longer fishermen, right? You're human fishermen, right? You are the fish human. This is what you are doing. So the point of all of this is that our job is to herald in the kingdom. Our job is to even at the expense of people laughing at us or blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Who cares what the Gentiles do? We are doing what we are called to do. And so this is where the light is coming out of this. Continuing on. John writes this, Beloved, I write no fresh command to you, but an old command, which you had from the beginning. The old command is the word, which you heard from the beginning. Okay, so here we live in this religious system. The religious system of the Christians think we have a bunch of new commands, right? We are into baptism. We have to do penance. We have to do this and this and this. We have to pray here. We got to go altar calls. We got potlucks. We got all these things that we have to do. But yet this book, 1 𝐤𝐄𝐄, is in the same book that the Christians read. John very clearly says, I write no fresh command to you. That means everything that he's writing is the same as beginning. This goes to this new covenant, renewed covenant, right? The renewed covenant that the Christians say, oh, that's the covenant we want. Because we want the renewed covenant of Hebrews 8. Because the renewed covenant, well, the problem is that they don't read their scriptures. Because the first covenant had no fault. The fault inside of the first covenant involved the humans not keeping it. So by default, they broke the first covenant. So by our Messiah, we have been offered a second covenant, a renewed covenant. But it's the same covenant as before, except it has a Messiah. So what's the first covenant? Gentlemen, what does the first covenant say?
Keep my laws, statutes, and commandments.
Thank you. For keep my laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the covenant. And when you do that, you will be the people of our Creator, and He will be your Elohim. Great. Sounds wonderful, right? But we null that covenant by putting the laws on the cross. We null that thing by saying that we don't care about the commands. 8. Again, I write you a fresh command, which is true in Him and in you, because the darkness is passing away and the true light now shines. The one who says he is in light and hates his brother is in the darkness until now. The one who loves his brother stays in the light, and there is no stumbling block in him. But the one who hates his brother is in the darkness and walks in the darkness and does not know where he is going, because the darkness has blinded his eyes. So again, we live in this world where if we're from the United States of America, if somebody is a Muslim, we hate them because of their religious system. But yet, what is the religious system of the United States of America? What is the religious system of the world, right? Mostly Catholicism, right? So do we hate the people in Catholicism because they're surrounded by pedophiles and they all this dirt and grime and all this other stuff? Do we hate them because of what they practice? No, we feel sorry for them because they have not come to the light. But the problem is that if we do not account and we do not say that this is my brother or this is my sister, and that we say because you're Muslim, we hate you, because you're Catholic, we hate you, because you're whatever, you're never, ever going to be able to shine a light. Nobody that's sitting there beating you down and then comes to you and says, hey, let's read scriptures together, you're not going to do it. You're going to go, this guy sucks. He just beat me up. Why would I ever listen to anything this guy says? It doesn't make any sense. So when you go around and manhandle the entire world in the name of a golden statue, it ain't good. Continuing on. 12. Is 12?
Yeah.
Yep. I write to you, little children, because your sins have been forgiven on account of His name. That's amazing. Now, it doesn't say, your sins, right? These are past tense sins, and they go to futuristic sins, right? There's sins all over, right? But this is not a sin to win card. Our Messiah is not a entity that we can surf pornography and go and say, Jesus, forgive me. And over and over and over, right? That act of surfing pornography, you have become an adulterer. You've made your wife an adulterer. The person in these pornography films are bigger adulterers, right? It's a crescendo of a snowball effect that comes flying down. So we have to be very, very clear on what this is. You guys have anything? Anything? Okay.
No, I was just laughing because Yahuwah 7:7 said it was 3:53 there, and Eli should stay awake.
Yes, stay awake,
Still
Eli.
awake, and it's only 3:53.
That's right. Eli's my little one. I don't know. This dude can like pass out cold. I wondered if he had like narcolepsy or something, but I can wake him up. So I did know a guy had narcolepsy, and I couldn't wake him up. He would kind of sit there and just kind of go around, but he would just be sitting there talking and pass right out right there on my computer floor. You guys remember Greg, right?
Yeah.
He
Greg.
passed out on my receptionist.
Yeah, he'd drive around. He'd be driving around and go to sleep on the side of the road. It was incredible. Okay, continue on. 14. I wrote to you, fathers, because you have known him from the beginning. I wrote to you, young men, because you are strong, and the word of Yahuwah stays in you, and you have overcome the wicked one. Do not love the world, nor that which is in the world. Big stuff, big stuff. We got to pause. Everybody, I want you to listen real closely to this next thing. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Okay, let me go one more time on that. Do not love the world, nor that which is in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Gentlemen, can somebody break that down to me? What does that mean to you?
If you love the world, you cannot serve.
What does that mean? Love the world? How do we love the world? I love being alive. I love getting up in the morning.
That's different than being part of the world and loving the ways of the world.
What is the world?
Ones that don't keep the Torah.
Guys, come closer. I enjoy your speech here. Yes, the ones that don't keep Torah. And what is there a bad part of not being part of the world? What do you guys? I mean, you guys are as separated as you guys can possibly be from the world, but you're still stuck in the world because all of our jobs are dealing with Gentiles, right? We're stuck in the Gentiles. Mom, Nicole, is the only one that kind of has a little bit of a ministry inside of hers because we are a cling food frozen thing. And so we always get all the Gentiles laughing at us and making fun of us. But at the same time, people are like, well, why do you guys have cling food? Why can I buy pig 100% of everywhere else in this country, but you guys don't have pig? And we're, here, we'll tell you. We're happy to tell you. Okay, continuing on. So if you love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Well, that sucks, right? Halloween, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, New Year's Day, right? Partying it up. If you're hanging out with that makes you the world, right? You're the world. And if that's the case, then the love of the Father is not in you. And that's a bad thing. 16. Because all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Okay, let's go over this because we know the deadly sins. What did we just say right here? This is something, and 𝐤𝐄𝐄𝐅 says the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life is not of the Father. Let's go. What does the lust of the flesh look like?
That's
Dude, you can walk out your door and see people half clothed. It's like people don't wear clothes anymore. This didn't used to happen. Back in like the 80s, people were much more clothed. I don't know when people started wearing that spandex and that horrible stuff that they do, but it's a travesty. It is something absolutely horrible, and it's one of those things that is it's hard to get away from it, right? Because you walk into anywhere and people dress like, I'm not even going to say it. It's Shabbat, so they dress like bad people. Continuing on, what does the lust of the eyes look like? What could that be?
Pornography?
Pornography. I mean, it could be anything, right? Anything that we're at. And it says also the pride of life. You know, there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, look at my house, look at my greatness, look at my job, look at my cars, look at my yard, look at all this, right? And, at the end of the day, it's like, is that really your yard? Or did the creator of the universe build the grass and give you the opportunity to dwell in the yard, right? None of us own anything, right? And that's the crazy thing is we get into all this thing and we think we have so much stuff because we own something, right? At the end of the day, we don't own anything, right? We're a vapor. Like wind we came, dust we came, we're going to go, the same thing. So we got to separate ourselves from the world, my friends. Separate. And the world passes away and the lust of it, but the one doing the desire of Elohim remains forever. Okay, well, we talked about what the lust of the world is, but what is the desire of Elohim?
That we obey the Torah.
How do you know this?
He said, follow my Torah, keep my commands.
Yeah, and he says, did he say it one time?
No. He said 53 times.
At least 53.
At least 53. And that's just guarding it, and that's just in the guardian, and then you look to everything else. So yeah, the desire of our Creator is to do His will, to do the Torah, walk the ways. Little children, it is the last hour. And I would say we're probably getting close to that too. I don't know what the future is going to bring or how many lifetimes are left here, but it looks pretty close to the last hour to me. And as you have heard that the anti-Messiah is coming, even now, many anti-Messiahs have come. But this is how we know that it is the last hour. Crazy, huh? We looked at it. You look at Hitler. We now look at the orange demon. Like, there's no comparison, right? There's absolutely no comparison to the amount of destruction that the orange man is doing right now. So, I always make the case that this guy is absolutely, without a shadow of doubt, if he isn't the one, he's like right at the tippy top of the thing, right? I mean, there's nobody that does what this demon dude does and gets away with it. And I think it's impossible. The thing is, people get on here and they're like, Jason, don't be political. You don't need to be saying that stuff about dump truck. And I'm like, look, I'm not political. I don't think anyone should be voting. They should be voting for the kingdom to come based upon your loyalty to the Torah. That's how you vote. You don't vote by like raising your hand and going, I'm saved. I'm to ask Jesus into my heart. That's not what it is, right? You vote by your obedience. Every single day that you keep Torah, you vote. And when you don't vote, then you don't keep Torah, and you have no say in the kingdom to come, right? That's what the kingdom is for. The kingdom is for those who are doing it right now, appointed times, Torah keeping, all of the same stuff that we're going to be doing soon. Continuing on, 19. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would have stayed with us. But in order that it might be made manifest that none of them were of us, and you have an anointing from the Kodesh one, and you know all. I did not write to you because you do not know the truth, but because you know it, and because no falsehood is in the truth. What is truth, boys?
Truth is the Torah.
Torah, that is the truth, right? That at the end of the day, we live in a world of lies, right? Marketing lies, biblical lies, religious lies, orange man lies. I mean, everybody's lying. Everybody's lying everywhere, right? But yet, the one thing that we can always count upon because it has been proven is the Torah. The Torah has been proven. It's been proven for 6,000 years. It's been proven that it is for all generations, all times, all peoples, for those who want to accept it. And for those who don't, your daddy is the devil. And that's the truth of this entire thing. The truth is found in scriptures. You can either accept the truth and what is in Torah, or you can accept the lies and think once saved, always is saved. 22, right, guys? Who is the liar except the one denying that Yahushua is Hamashiach? This is the anti-Messiah, the one denying the Father and the Bayin, right? The one denying the Father and the Son, right? And you look at what's happening in the world. Look at the posts that are coming online that are just blasphemous. Look at this, right? Who else could do this kind of crazy stuff? 23. No one is denying the Bain. No one denying the Bain has the Father. The one confessing the Bain has the Father as well. Okay? Separate entities, right? This is the book of Trinity breaking things. And as for you, let that stay in you, which you heard from the beginning. Okay, what do we hear from the beginning, guys?
The Torah.
The Torah, right? And if you want to start at John 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. And this is the thing. Messiah was before I don't know when the Torah was. I don't know if the Torah was before Messiah or if Creator wrote it before any of this. I don't know when the process is, but we do know that if somebody learned this long before we were ever created, they would know it far better than we ever did. So if what you heard from the beginning stays in you, you shall also stay in the Son, the Man, and in the Father. And this is the promise, that He has promised us everlasting Kai. Promises, beautiful promises. I have written this to you concerning those who lead you astray. But the anointing which you have received from Him stays in you, and you have no need that anyone should teach you. But as the same anointing teaches you concerning all, and is true, and is no falsehood, and even it has taught you, you stay in Him. This is a fascinating part of this verse, right? That what you have received from Him stays in you, and you have no need that anyone should teach you. This is something that those of us who have read Torah for long enough understand is that pretty soon the Torah becomes the teacher, right? Before this, we were always looking on YouTube looking for people. We were always looking for people who knew more. How does this guy know more than us? What does this guy know? What qualifies this guy to have all this information? And all this information is from the Torah. And so when you start reading that Torah and you start understanding the Torah, pretty soon you don't have to have these man-made teachers because you graduate to the Torah, the teacher of teachers. And in this Torah, we learn things that no man could ever teach us because the Torah is the truth. And when we stay aligned to the Torah, which is no mystery, it's not a puzzle, we can very clearly find out how we should act, be, repent, everything. It's all in the Torah. 28. And now, little children, stay in him, so that when he appears, we might have boldness and not be ashamed before him at his coming. If you know that he is righteous, you know that everyone doing righteousness has been born of him. That takes us to the word righteousness. What is righteousness, everybody?
Keeping the Torah.
Yeah, keeping the Torah. And it is in that righteousness that is what is going to distinguish us from those who are out there. So we want to be righteous in all things. We want to make sure that we are living the Torah, walking the Torah, putting it on our hearts. Guys, sometimes we fall. Sometimes we trip up. Sometimes it seems like, and I talk to guys in prison all the time, right? One guy in prison I talk to a lot, his name is Tom. Tom is convinced that because he does not hear directly from the words of our Creator, that the Creator doesn't love him, or that the silent treatment is something that is an answer to, he's not getting what he wants. And a lot of times what I will explain to these guys in these prison cells is that the silence is the answer. In that what we're hearing doesn't necessarily have to be an answer. We don't need answers to our questions because we have been given the Torah. When we align ourselves with the Torah, understanding the Torah, it just becomes very, very clear. We don't have to rely on the voice, hearing the voice, right? And this is the thing that when these guys don't hear the voice, and I hear from the guys on death row a lot, they're like, I'm just praying, I hear nothing. Guys, sometimes that is the answer. We don't have to have a verbal answer. We don't have to see this right before our eyes to know that our Creator lives, our Redeemer lives. It is with this that he has given us this Torah as our guidebook so that we don't have to have that little tiny voice. Although the little voice would be great, all right? We all want to hear from the hand of our Creator, but we have already heard from the hand of our Creator. From the hand of our Creator to the hand of Moshe to what we are reading today. This is the way of our Creator. So with that, guys, we're going to end this. We are going to get onto our final songs here. Jade, will you please bless our brothers and sisters?
Yehovah barak you and guard you. Yehovah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yehovah lift his face upon you and give you peace.
All right, guys, this is one of my favorite songs here. I didn't actually like the song when I first started doing this, when I put this one together. I didn't like it. I didn't like the beat of it, but it's actually really grown on me. And this is, when you're looking for truth, right, this is the truth that we can find in scriptures. So, all right, friends, we love you.
They say all food's clean, but that's twisted, ain't that? Translators lie so you don't stop and think. Yahuwah's word never change what you eat. Clean means clean, keep garbage off your seat. Walk that Torah road where the straight path shines. Don't eat what I call trash from the first designs. No pigs, no shrimp, no Dead Sea grime. Yahuwah's clean diet stands for all time. Fake pen slip lies in the pages you read, claiming Yahushua blessed every unclean feet. But the Greek don't say it, Aramaic don't show. No Hebrew scroll writes all foods are a go. Marcos 7:19, mistranslation trick. Added in sentence so the doctrine sticks. But Yahushua spoke about dirty hands, not pigs, not shrimp, not breaking commands. He said traditions ain't over Torah's rule, but translators flipped it like a counterfeit tool. They twist his words so the masses fail, so they fill their stomachs with the unclean trail. They say all food's clean, but that's twisted, ain't that? Translators lie so you don't stop and think. Yahuwah's word never change what you eat. Clean means clean, keep garbage off your seat. Walk that Torah road where the straight path shines. Don't eat what y'all call trash from the first designs. No pigs, no shrimp, no Dead Sea grind. Yahuwah's clean diet stands for all time. Vayikra 11. clean list written. Yahuwah himself made the food decision. Split hoof and chew the cut on the land. Anything else he said, don't put it in your hand. Mitzrayim survivors ate the clean kind. Unclean beast never crossed their mind. Devarim 14 repeats the decree. Yahuwah doubles down for you and me. No fins and scales, then leave that fish, catfish here. Not a covenant dish, shellfish bottom feed filth and waste. Why let toxins be the food you taste? Pig is unclean, that's straight from the throne. Nothing in scripture says it's now okay to own. Yahuwah called it garbage from the day he spoke. Eating trash ain't freedom, that doctrine's a joke. They say all food's clean, but that's twisted ink. Bad translators lie so you don't stop and think. Yahuwah's word never changed what you eat. Clean means clean, keep garbage off your seat. Walk that Torah road where the straight path shines. Don't eat what I call trash from the first designs. No pigs, no shrimp, no Dead Sea grime. Yahuwah's clean diet stands for all time. Tehillim says, yes, Torah perfect and true. Never been changed like the lies they spew. Malachi 3:6, yeah, don't change. So why would his food laws rearrange? Devarim 30:16, walking his way. Eat what is clean through all your days. Devarim 12:28, obey and live. Don't follow nations or the lies they give. Yeshayahu 66:17 drops the end time word. Pig eaters judge when his voice is heard. If pigs became clean, why that verse so bold? Because clean means clean, same truth told. They say all food's clean, but that's twisted ink. Bad translators lie so you don't stop and think. Yahuwah's word never changed what you eat. Clean means clean, keep garbage off your seat. Walk that Torah road where the straight path shines. Don't eat what I call trash from the first designs. No pigs, no shrimp, no Dead Sea grime. Yahuwah's clean diet stands for all time. They want you eating filth, so your spirit dim. Shellfish toxins tearing bodies limb from limbs. Pig loaded with worms, parasites inside. Doctors admit it, they don't even hide. But Yahuwah made rules because he knows best. Clean food feeds life, unclean fails a test. You ain't a garbage bin, you ain't a dump side. You're a vessel for Kodesh, walk upright. Stay on the Torah road, narrow and tight. Don't let culture pull you from Yah's light. Yahushua never broke the clean food code. He walked Torah perfect on the kingdom road. So why would he change it? He never lied. It's translators twisting what he clarified. They say all food's clean, but that's twisted ink. Bad translators lie so you don't stop and think. Yahuwah's word never changed what you eat. Clean means clean, keep garbage off your seat. Walk that Torah road where the straight path shines. Don't eat what I call trash from the first designs. No pigs, no shrimp, no Dead Sea grime. Yahuwah's clean diet stands for all time. They want you eating filth, so your spirit dim. Shellfish toxins tearing bodies limb from limbs. Pig loaded with worms, parasites inside. Doctors admit it, they don't even hide.
Moshe stood with voice of flame. Yisrael, he Yahuwah's name. If scattered far through every land, still Yah will take you by the hand. When your heart returns in truth, he restores your strength in you. Baruch Yahuwah, strong to save. Ruach lifts you from the grave. Adon reigns from Shemayim high. For our life will never die. Though cast to winds of earth and sea, Yahuwah will remember thee. He'll bring you back, increase your day, restore your land in mighty way. He'll cut the hardness from your heart. Kodesh love will set you apart. Turn with all your heart and mind. Torah's path is pure and kind. Not distant, hidden, far above, but near your mouth, the law of love. Not across the sea so wide, but in your heart where truth abides. Baruch Yahuwah, strong to save. Ruach lifts you from the grave. Adon reigns from Shemayim high. Torah life will never die. Today I set before your sight Here I go, goodness, life and light. Oh, cursing death, the darkened way. When hearts refuse, yes, truth to stay. Choose life, that you and your seed may live. Walk in his ways, his Torah give. Love Yahuwah with all you are. He's your strength and guiding star. He is your life, your days made long. Your covenant hope, your victory song. Cling to him through every test. And in your land, your peace, your rest. Baruch Yahuwah, strong to save. Ruach lifts you from the grave. Adon reigns from Shemayim high. Torah life will never die. Israel rise, obey his voice. Yahuwah's path is life, your choice. From heart to mouth, from land to sky. Torah calls, choose life, not die. Baruch the Lord, the ones who walk his way. Yahuwah's promise stands today.
All right, last song, fam.
Yahuwah, keep our hearts awake. We won't be fooled by masks they make. We follow Yahushua through the test. We Ruach strong, we won't rest. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. Yahushua came to stay, but crowds roll out and stole the shalom away. They whisper he is out of his mind. Fearful hearts were weak and blind, but truth will draw the hungry near, and light will shine when men fear. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk away the narrow way. Men from Jerusalem came with lies, calling light evil in disguise. They said he cast out evil by evil, but Yahushua spoke what's real. Can evil fight itself and stand? A divided ray will break no plan. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk away the narrow way. He entered the Chikot travel worn, not dressed in pride, not wrapped in scorn. He said, workmen come as they are, not polished clothes, but truth's own mark. Then he warned the people, watch their ways. Many look clean, but rot inside remains. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way the narrow way. Beware the ones who praise with lips, but hearts are cold and filled with tricks. They say they see, but they are blind. They lead the weak and twist the mind. They hide in darkness, smile for gold, but inside them poison grows. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way the narrow way. He said, take up my stake of Kai. The easy road has no bright sky. The trials come like gifts sometimes, but truth reveals their hidden signs. He winnows grain from empty talk and calls the faithful ones to walk. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way the narrow way. Give us eyes that really see, not fake religion or deceit. Let our roots go deep in light, so it's a world don't choke what's right. We seek your wisdom like pure of gold. We walk the truth, we won't grow cold. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way.
All right, beautiful family, we love you all. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for being a part of our family and making this Shabbat memorable as always. So may Yahweh bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine on you. May the Torah be everything in your life. May the Ruach of our Creator be part of your life. And may Messiah Yahushua always be the champion, the king who we're going to see in the kingdom to come. We love you all. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.